Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Most don't want to win the par 3 contest the day before the Masters tournament begins. Rickie Fowler didn't mind. Let's check the leaderboard. Sponsored by Dell. Dell Technologies pushes what technology can do so your great ideas can happen right now. Learn more at Dell.com. Fowler birdied 5 of the 9 holes and won the Crystal Ball Trophy with a 5 under 22. He'll try to become the first player to win both the par 3 and the green jacket in the same week. The par 3 contest goes back to 1960. Sepp Straka, JT Poston, and Santiago De La Fuente tie for second at 3 under. Many players hand their clubs to members of their family, creating memories for sure. Bubba Watson's daughter, Dakota, looking like dad on the greens. She sank 3 long putts. Of course, Watson, a 2-time Masters champion in 2012 and 2014. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go.
This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And I got to tell you, I ran into somebody very interesting at a drive-through of a Scottsdale Starbucks the other day.
Did it hurt?
Almost did. Fella had a gun. His name, Terrell Suggs.
What?
Okay, I'm just kidding. It wasn't me. I wasn't in the drive-thru, but Terrell Suggs was, and he had a gun, and he showed it and got arrested. I guess, when did this happen, by the way? I think this happened yesterday or something. I don't know when it happened, but he already was in front of a judge and was, they let him go on supervised release. Does the guy who's supervising him while he's on release get to hold the gun? I don't know how supervised release works when you're a grown up.
I mean, what happened? What was the situation? Why did Terrell Suggs pull a gun out?
All right, so actually this happened on March 10th, and I guess
I can't believe he would just pull in there and just say, "Hey, sucker, look what I got here."
Well, I don't think anybody says "Hey, sucker" anymore.
I think they do. I think Terrell Suggs does all the time. "Hey, sucker, look what I've got right here."
Sure, him and the Wayans brothers. But here's the official charge. He was arrested on charges of threatening and disorderly conduct involving weapons. And that's what we know. I guess he was in the drive-thru of a Starbucks, started arguing with another guy in another car, and then they got out, and then they got back in, and then they got out. And he showed him a gun, didn't point it at him, but he did say poetically, "You want to go?
Sucker, look what I've got here."
No, he didn't say that. He said, "You want to go? I'll kill your bitch ass."
It's a little darker.
And then he pulled out a gun, didn't point it at him, but he's like, "See what I got to kill your bitch ass?" And you see, when I say it, it sounds polite. Hi, I'm going to kill your bitch ass. See, but the way he said it was probably a bit more aggressive,
bit more menacing.
Why do you need to say that? I mean, if you have a gun, why do you need to say that?
I mean, it's assumed that you might kill their bitch ass.
I mean, if you have a gun and you bring the gun out and you show it to somebody,
bitch asses are going to get killed.
Now,
why do you feel like you got to say, "Hey, sucker, I'll kill your bitch ass"?
He didn't say sucker.
He didn't say that.
The charges would have been higher and heavier had he said sucker.
Because that's a corny thing to say, and that
you just
deserve to have the book thrown at you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm on the cutting edge of the current vernacular.
If you're angry and you are Terrell Suggs, at 6'3", 260 pounds, your ability to kill a person and their bitch ass,
yes,
gonna be couldn't it be pretty obvious? I don't think you needed
Yeah.
the gun. That just
No
seems
need.
redundant at that point. You could, just by virtue of you being a
Terrell
giant
Suggs.
human,
Yeah.
that should be enough. You'd think that'd be enough.
Let me just put this out as like a public service announcement. Your bitch asses should stay in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Your bitch asses should not argue with other people in line at Starbucks. You know,
Especially Terrell Suggs.
the only time there should be a confrontation in the line at Starbucks is if they get crappy with you because you didn't push tip on that stupid thing.
Or you grab somebody else's mocha chocolate yaya. See what I'm saying?
Well, that's not on you. If you grab somebody else's in the drive-through,
Hey, bitches, that's my mocha chocolate yaya.
well, that would happen inside the store.
Oh.
That wouldn't happen in
Well.
the drive-through. You know, that's because somebody made a mistake.
Okay. All right.
That's
Yeah.
that's the bitch ass behind the counter. That's not
that.
your bitch ass. That's
Hmm.
their bitch ass.
Touche.
Do all you bitch asses have this straight now? Can we?
I
I'm
still
just-
I think
still
we've got it
think
straight.
that-
Yeah.
I still think Terrell Suggs. Hey, sucker foo.
I am ruining bitch
I
ass
just-
as something somebody says just
Yeah.
by the way I'm
Just-
saying it over and over again.
The way you're saying it is making me say it the way you're saying it.
Oh, well, that ain't
It's
right.
infectious.
Yeah.
Keon's friends will be like, "You've been hanging around those guys too."
Yeah, well.
It's starting to have an effect. Well, whatever the case, the court date that he's going to have next to determine what happens is April 25th. First off, did you know he lived here? I didn't know he lived here.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I knew.
yeah.
I knew he lived here.
Second, why? Why would you live here?
He went to ASU. He was an ASU.
Oh,
He's an
yeah,
ASU alum. Yeah.
Keep forgetting that part.
And,
Um,
And he's got a lot of money, and Scottsdale's a
Got a
nice
lot of
place to
money.
live when you have a lot of money.
oh, was this a
You know-
Starbucks in Scottsdale?
Yeah.
Yeah, North
Uh,
Scottsdale.
Damn.
So
I was
just
going to go try to hang out and meet him.
probably want to avoid that one.
I want to meet him. I just, hey, Terrell.
maybe
you're
not
the
when he's at a
man.
Starbucks.
Get a T-shirt that says, "Please don't shoot my bitch ass."
Yeah, don't
and you
shoot
just,
me.
Yeah.
if you stand around outside the drive and he goes through, he's going to start laughing or he'll start shooting. You
Well,
have either way.
It's a 50-50 chance, but if
I mean,
you
look,
get to meet
if
him.
he starts laughing,
Mhm.
you could probably
So
be friends.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys know this or not. Jeffrey should know this. I'm in with the NFL gang. Larry Fitzgerald called me the Hall of Famer. So
Yeah,
it's
sure.
it's well known fact. I could walk up on Terrell Suggs and he would know who I was.
No. I don't think
It's a
you should ever
well-known
walk
fact.
up
I mean,
on Terrell Suggs for
If
any
Larry
reason.
Fitzgerald puts his arm around me, calls me the Hall of Famer.
Yeah. You wave at Terrell Suggs from a distance.
Oh, I mean,
And
no,
just
Gauge
come on.
the situation
good.
first.
You guys are just
Good.
jealous
You know,
because this is
just-
like a brotherhood that I have with these NFL guys.
If you're that confident,
Yeah, you can just go ahead and
I could
try,
totally
but
walk
I'll.
up on 'em. I could
I'm going to
totally walk
stay
up
in the car. I'll-
Hey, look,
somebody
look what
has to
Urlacher-
dial 911.
I mean, when Urlacher came into the building, he knew I was right away.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, Brian Urlacher knew who I was
Can I
because
just
I'm
tell you?
part of the brotherhood.
Can I just tell you how much it sucked that we went from that interview with Urlacher and then days later, all of a sudden, he's just talking and saying things and making us regret having had him in the studio.
well,
Forget
That
what he
was-
said.
sometimes life is just like that. By the way, was it supervised release is basically you still have to serve half or 2/3 of your sentence in
But what sentence? He wasn't
in-
sentenced yet.
in prison. So I don't know if that's going to be. I don't know. Then, like, are they saying instead of going to jail while he's still going through all the legal process,
think
he's
they
got to be
called that
supervised?
bail. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
weird.
I've never seen that for not a prison sentence.
Well,
It's
if
probably
any,
a
of,
probably a Steelers fan that was ragging on him.
if any of you bitch asses want to meet Terrell Suggs, it was
Yeah.
the Starbucks drive-through near 91st Street and Pinnacle Peak Road. So
Nice.
that's the place.
I'll be on my way there.
Mr. Wilbur says, Randy, you need to meet Suggs. You need to meet Suggs, Randy, at that Starbucks.
Yeah, I know.
You got to get down there and ask him to
Yeah.
pay for your beverage since he stole
What?
all that money from the Cardinals. He kind of owes
What?
you.
Terrell Suggs
Yeah, he was
stole
on the Cardinals
money
for a
from
minute.
the Cardinals.
Yeah, he was on the Cardinals for a minute and did nothing.
He signed a contract. I don't know what you mean steal.
Your
Mr.
bitch
Wilbur.
ass knows what he's talking about. I'm going to call
Are you
everybody
saying-
bitch ass today.
Is that the word of the day? That's the
It's
I
a
feel
phrase of
like-
the day.
At some point, Radio Ron would say, "That's probably enough." Fifth letter says, when I hear that Burn in Hell Lakers song, The first thing I think is bitch ass haters. Good afternoon, fellas.
What do you mean? Like
Good afternoon, bitch ass fifth letter.
We're we're haters? Is that what I mean?
I'm guessing that's what he's saying.
I guess in this context, it does. We do.
I mean,
hate
it
the
does
Lakers.
apply. And look, I don't
Huh.
mind being a hater. People say that like that's a bad thing.
How's that make you feel? You know,
Shut the hell up, Ralph.
So listen, we start the show today with bad news, good news, bad news, good news. Let me just take you down the driveway of the news. All right.
all right.
Bad news: the Kraken zilched out the Coyotes last
Yeah.
night, 5-0.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Wow. Yeah.
And then the Diamondbacks beat the Rockies 3-2. That's
Yeah.
good news.
Yeah.
And then the bad news is the Timberwolves came from behind and beat the Wizards 130 to 121. Was really
Oh,
looking forward.
I
to,
was looking forward to the hilarity
Mhm.
that would have been today had they been able to pull that off.
After
But
the Wizards
Yep.
jumped out to what was it? A
it was a
30-point
it
lead.
wasn't 30, it was 20, but still, that's a lot for the Wizards to have.
Yes, that's even they were confused. So,
Yeah.
and then the good news is the Golden State Warriors beat the Lakers 134 to 120, and
Yeah,
they
there it
had
is.
to shoot 9 million 3-pointers to get the W. And in fact, it was a historic 3-point shooting night for the Warriors, and it was crazy. I guess the Warriors shot 63.4% from 3-point land. And then I think there was another thing where between Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and I don't know who the other guy was. It Klay Thompson? You know, 3 guys shot 5 threes. And it was just bam, 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 bam. This is the second time that Green, Curry, and Thompson did that. And last night was the perfect time to do it. I mean, the Warriors ain't doing nothing in these playoffs, if we're honest. But then again, neither are the Lakers. So I was just glad to see the foot go in the throat of the Lakers by the Warriors.
And it was funny as hell to watch Draymond Green actually not get in trouble, but sink threes. I mean, did he like 3 or 4 of them?
Yeah, 5. He had 5.
He had five.
He had
Five of
yeah.
7, by the way. So it was,
Right,
it was an
I,
efficient amount. too.
Literally just said that.
Feed Draymond. Feed
and
Draymond. That's all he did.
Steph didn't miss any threes.
Wow. I didn't
6
know
of
that.
6. Perfect 6 of 6.
So the team was 63.4%, but Steph was 100%?
Yeah.
Why didn't he shoot more?
Well, because that maybe he wasn't open for all of those.
Well, come on, they beat the
That-
Lakers.
You
so-
got to take these shots in the flow of the offense. Sometimes you just, and he's a very big team guy. So he gives up the ball. He'll run through a bunch of screens, which you can't get all of the stars in the league to do that. So sometimes you just don't have the ball.
Hey, remember when we were in the playoffs and then now we're not? We're in the play-in. That was great. That was so. Thank you so much, Sons. Thank you.
That was fantastic.
So good.
I saw the score at halftime, and I was like, "Dear Lord in
Mhm.
heaven!" And
31-point lead in the first quarter.
decided to turn that thing off. That's
Okay, what the hell? What the hell is going on? And we just talked yesterday about how this was an important game, and like you got to win at least one of these with the Clippers. But the way they played last night, I don't know how they're going to win tonight. And I mean, there were injuries on the other team even.
Well, and the Suns lost and the Pelicans won, so that's why they knocked the Suns right out of the playoffs and
Well,
into the play-in.
I don't care about the standings as much
we
as
have
what
to
the
win
hell
tonight.
just happened. What
We have
happened?
to win.
well,
Why did this happen?
there's no good reason. The team came out flat. They were not shooting the ball well. I saw early in the game was an 0 for 4 for Bradley Beal, 1 for 8 for Kevin Durant. I don't even remember what Booker had, and it affects their defense. Like the way that they lock in, if they come out and they're not shooting well, they're not playing well, they get all the way flat. And just not mentally tough. Like that's the only thing I can say. That's the only thing I can think to say. It's just not a mentally tough basketball team. Because
Charles Barkley, when he was hanging around at the championship game, somebody from Channel 12 came up and asked him, and he's just like exactly what Keon just said. Exactly what he said. They're just weak. They're weak in the mind. They're just there's no leadership in the players. So
because you could have a bad shooting night and you're down 15 quick, and then somebody puts their foot down, and you pull this thing back into shape. There's no reason that thing should have been. There should have been a 10-point first quarter. What the hell was that?
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight. They're so inconsistent. Just when you think they're going to win, they lose. When you think they're going to lose, they win. I don't have any idea what's going to happen tonight. Now, the haters are going to say they're going to lose, and the faithful are going to say they're going to win. I'm going to say again, I have no idea. No idea. Does anybody what is Vegas at least saying? Because Vegas had said the Suns were going to win last night. A lot of people lost some money on that deal.
Yeah, and in large part because, the players that were missing for the Clippers made it seem like, look, this is an advantage for the Suns. Even if they don't play well, they can't possibly play bad enough to lose the game. So naturally, they just got blown the hell out. So I can't tell you. Vegas is saying about today's game. Let's go ahead and jump to that. Vegas is saying about today's game that the Suns are once again favored by 10.5 points.
Blimey.
That maybe because of the thought process or idea. Well, they can't do that 2 times in a row. Like, you just hope that that's not possible.
Stop favoring us. You're not helping, Vegas.
But you're potentially not going to have Paul George out there. I don't know what the deal is with Russell Westbrook. He did play, but he could be a game time decision as well with the hand injury. So we'll see.
Berg says, go, Yotes, go. And wherever you go, take the Suns and the Cardinals with you. I hope they all stay.
Oh, my God.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, pretty sure it was last night's Suns starting lineup working the Starbucks drive-thru where Suggs pulled the gun. Big George, he's all upset about the possibility the Coyotes leaving. I do have that story. The NHL is sort of showing their hand. I'll explain that here in a second. Pierre says, hello, Jeffrey, Randy, and Keon, and listen to me. Can't say nothing because the thing has frozen.
Well, that's a damn shame.
Fantastic. The thinky wheel of death is killed Pierre. I hate this.
And absorbed his Frenchness, apparently.
He says, I am so sad to hear you're losing our hockey team, the Utah Mormons. The Coyotes were to leave town. I want them to come to the only medieval wild city in North America, Quebec. I spit on Utah. Okay, Pierre. We'd kind of like to just keep them if we can. But,
that's the best outcome for us.
Hurry Harry says, what the hell happened to the Suns last night? Exactly. Right, Harry? Right, Harry? Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a funeral, and they decided to just jump in the casket.
Donnie says, never doubted my Wolves. Liar.
You didn't have words to say until after the fact. You were doubting a little.
I would almost bet that Donnie's wife has purchased little sponges that look like bricks that he can throw at the TV screen when he gets upset.
That could be true. Yeah, I'm sure.
I would almost guarantee you he wants and needs those sorts of things.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, is the game over? The Diamondbacks just won the game? Is it 5-3? Because that's what Wilbur's saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't got an update here, but when just before we went on the air, Diamondbacks took the lead.
Yep, Snakes win.
Hooray! 2 in a row. Nice.
6 and 7. Second in the NL West.
It is just the Rockies, but we'll take it.
No, absolutely.
Pinocchio says, Keon, what up with Booker and Chillin? Made me scream. The hell's he talking about?
I'm gonna have to get a clearer version of that text. I don't know what you mean by that, sir. Don't know. What
Ralph has crabs. Says, are you going to address the elephant in the room? He says, no, not Ralph, but the Coyotes going to Salt Lake. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. It's not a done deal, but it's starting to get scarier. Fifth letter says, I feel your pain. The Lakers, so-called superstars, act like pansies. AD didn't play last night because, his throat was hurting. It's crazy. I thought he had an eyeball thing. Now it's his throat.
Well, no, I understood he had flu-like symptoms.
He's got the vid.
Yeah. I mean, if he's sick, though, like with the contagious, even if it's a cold, the flu,
LeBron
COVID,
had
what have you.
Last weekend, and
probably
now AD
shouldn't play and spread that to other players.
Didn't they have a memo saying don't make out with LeBron? Just don't make out with LeBron.
I'm pretty sure that was what the memo said.
Not sure.
That's all you have to do. Don't make out with LeBron, and you're fine.
Who doesn't know that? I mean,
well, evidently Anthony Davis.
I don't think that's what happened.
I wonder if he nuzzles his unibrow with his nose.
Could be.
He's making out with him. Some other things happened. It's not just the historic 3-point shooting of the Warriors to whoop the Lakers. Felt good. But the Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, they had a game, and I think the referees took a night off. There were only 2 free throw attempts in the entire game.
Are you saying there should have been more?
It just in a game involving the Bucks.
Physical game. They play.
Yes.
They're driving. It's not like it's all 3-point shooting. Now, if you told me the Warriors were involved in a game where there's only 2 free throw attempts, I'd be like, kind of see it because they're always shooting. But Draymond Green out there is going to guarantee you're sending somebody to the line. So even that doesn't make sense. I don't know if there's any scenario where 2 free throw attempts between 2 teams in the NBA it is even possible. But here we are. The refs, Dame Lillard says, yeah, it was weird, but kind of is the trend. He says fouls are not a part of the game no more. It's like I've had times where I thought I was getting fouled. There are other times I was surprised a foul didn't get called on me. I might bump somebody or get a piece of somebody's arm. They don't call it. And I'm like, man, they're just really letting us play. Is that good or bad?
I think that's good, but only if they do it consistently. Like, you can't have one game that's like this and then another game with the Lakers I saw like a week ago where the whistles are blowing every play. This is cool if this is what it is. If they're going to say we'd like, the scoring has gotten a little out of control, we'd like some defense back, we'd like some physicality, and we'll actually let you play it, I'm a fan of it. But you can't make up and decide which days and which games and weeks it's going to happen and apply, and then some other game people are playing physical defense because you've allowed them to, and now you're calling the fouls. I just want to see them do it consistently.
Doc Rivers sort of came at it a different direction, saying, wow, Adam Silver's got to be very happy right now. 1 hour, 57 minutes game time. My goodness, you can go to a game and still go have dinner. Oh, yeah, that's great. Great line by Doc Rivers, although I said it clearly and you could
understand
it. Like Doc Rivers.
It didn't sound. It didn't sound like you tried to gargle a cup full of gravel first before you were talking. Yeah, that's.
Lost Toby says Randy's invited to the cookout. The hell are you talking about?
Oh my God.
What cookout?
What cookout? It's a long story.
Wait, tell us quickly then.
Cookout?
It's too much. It's too much explanation. I'll tell you off the.
What cookout?
That's what I was asking, but Keon doesn't want to tell us on here.
It's just a look. We're already past the break and everything. Look at that.
I'll hold us here. I don't care.
We're just burning circles in the sky
hold us
right
hostage.
now, Keon. Yeah.
Look, just the black gathering that is known as the cookout. There are various white people that you would invite, and because Randy knows all the hip things to say, Randy's invited to the cookout.
Is that what you need to get invited to the thing?
I mean, the criteria kind of changes.
Does that mean I'm going to be in trouble?
Whatever various people's reason are or is changes.
Did I say something wrong?
No, you said something good, and that's why you're invited to the cookout.
Yeah, he's being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Lost Toby wouldn't even be invited to the cookout.
Lost Toby doesn't have the ability to invite anybody to the cookout.
Right.
It's not his call, but that's what he's saying. That's the joke.
Face. This ain't a
I'm
+1.
honored to be invited.
That's the joke that's being made here.
To the cookout.
Was it worth explaining? I'm not sure.
It's
but here
in the
we
3 o'clock hour, and I could give a crap. So I've only been told I have to be on time for things in 4 and 5 o'clock hour, because that's the Radio Ron thinks that's the only time people listen. I would contend it's the other way around. And since I know we might have more listeners in this time, I'm gonna do what I want.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Because they like awkward too. You really want me to go to break right now.
I don't
You
like
just
awkward
can't.
as much. Yeah.
Oh my God, the OCD on this.
It's
It's a little warm in here.
You think?
A little warm in here. It's a warm day today.
It's pretty cool in here.
It's gonna get
Got
hot
up
now,
to the
isn't it? Right?
mid-80s today.
Yeah,
It's
so
87 right now.
Powerful AC going on.
I want you to know you are not making me go to a break. The fact I'm sweating and want to go turn on the air conditioning is what's making me go to break.
All right.
I didn't think I had any power in this scenario. Clearly,
Just wanted to make sure you knew that's why I'm walking over here.
Because
You've
I
got the
said
power,
break
Keon.
3 minutes ago, and that didn't affect
It's
anything.
been about 5 minutes ago for Randy. Randy was doing this like.
That's the old producer in me.
That's good. Good call, Randy. Now we know who holds the cards here, and
Nobody holds the cards here. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580. Look, what's this? Oh, I got chocolate. I'm gonna unwrap it.
Are those one of those chocolate Easter eggs? Oh.
Yeah, little Hershey ones. I love them. So these are like chocolate, like Hershey's Kiss, but like somebody sat on it and made it into an egg.
Yeah, it's an Easter egg. Yeah.
Daily Blender, 1580 Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NBA tonight, the Phoenix Suns are in Los Angeles to take on the Clippers. Phoenix is a 3.5-point road favorite, minus 106 against the spread. The Clippers plus 114. On the money line, Phoenix minus 154, Los Angeles plus 130, with an over-under of 226.5. Also tonight, Denver at home taking on Minnesota, battle of the top two teams in the Western Conference. Nuggets coming off a win Tuesday in Salt Lake City are a 6-point home favorite, minus 230 on the money line. The Timberwolves are plus 190 with an over-under in the Mile High City at 212.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through April 23rd, get a $15 gift card when you buy 5 or more quarts of Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic, only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Claim based on Sequence 3 H test versus API SP test limits.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them. With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise. No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures. It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way, from up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet, weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Noah says, wait, when is the Daily Blender cookout? I might travel down to Arizona for that. Is everyone invited or is it just the brothers?
How did I know we were going to wind up here? I was trying to avoid it, but no. Here we find ourselves.
If we had the cookout, well, you know, I think everybody'd be invited. But I don't know if I want to have a public cookout. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I want to have a Daily Blender cookout.
What are you talking about? We've talked about having a cookout at the station many times, Jeffco, you and me.
The world has changed.
And we've talked about bringing our grills down there. And
now, that was a great idea. And then I realized
our meat on the smokers.
The problem is people might actually show up. And maybe some people,
our meat,
maybe
like
some
that.
people we don't want to show up might show up. So now I'm just like, maybe we won't do that. You know, we'll just have a private group of people put our meat in their mouths. That's all. You know, just keep it private.
So when it comes to putting our meat in their mouth,
that'd just be people that are in our circle, not necessarily everybody. You know, I'm sorry, Daily Blender peoples.
So only in our circle, but no jerks allowed.
No jerks allowed. Even us. So, Keon, let us know how it goes. Lost Toby says, okay, maybe I can't invite to the cookout, but I could certainly invite Randy to some carne asada. Ooh, I want to get invited to that.
You know, I got to tell you, coming up here, Cinco de Mayo, Miss Kim and I have been doing some studying, and I've been watching this guy on the YouTube, a guy named Arnie Tex, and oh my God, it takes me back to yesteryear when I was growing up as a young boy in Central Phoenix here, and my best friend Bobby Ochoa at the time, his mom, they were from Mexico, and his mom would make some of the greatest, you know, authentic Mexican food. And this Arnie Tex, he's in Texas somewhere. And
I kind of figured that by his nickname.
Oh yeah, Arnie Tex. But he made this carne asada. I have got to try this recipe. I have got to try this. It's so damn good. I can almost taste it through the television screen. I've got to try it. By the way, this weekend I'll be, if you guys are so inclined, I might bring some sample of my. I've got a brisket I'm putting on this weekend.
Hello.
I'll bring you guys a little
noted.
Little nibble of Randy's brisket.
Always like to put your meat in my mouth.
Yeah.
Noah says, oh, I see. So maybe just a private cookout. Moist one invited me to a cookout at his place, and I'm thinking of going with my kids.
Easy.
Yeah, don't ever go to his housewarming party, cookout. Just don't ever go anywhere near Moist one.
And Moist one's not allowed near your kids because he's not allowed near any kids.
At least 500 yards.
Yeah. So that's a bad idea just all the way through.
City of Scottsdale restraining order.
Kiss the Cook, I can't read that. I can't read that text. I can read the first 4 words and I can read the last 5 words, but I can't read the stuff in the middle. Kiss the Cook says, I think the Oats should go back to Glendale.
Wow.
Everything in the middle, I can't read. So
just that raunchy, huh?
Yeah, I don't understand why you would even say that. Pierre says, let's see. Oh, he doesn't want to talk about Jonte Porter of his Toronto Raptors getting banned for life from Adam Silver. What is he talking about?
What did he do to Adam Silver?
Jonte Porter, he's one of the players that was betting.
Oh, yeah.
So Adam Silver's like, yeah, I'm thinking about lifetime banning you.
So he dropped the Pete Rose on him.
Well, here's the thing. The Pete Rose thing is only going to stay that way if you're a jerk. That's why the Pete Rose got the Pete Rose, is because he was an a-hole to everybody, and he lied, and he lied, and he lied, and he lied. He was a jerk about it.
And, some other
I don't
things.
know how Jonte Porter is handling things.
I was also reading this weekend that Pete Rose was like calling other managers and then would immediately call his bookie afterwards. There are things like that just a little hard to forgive that.
You just can't.
You can say whatever you're going to say, but that just is wrong the whole way through. But with Jonte Porter, it's not even a matter of him being a jerk. It's just Adam Silver is looking down the pike and going, the NBA is already one of the more scrutinized leagues when it comes to, a lot of the betting shadiness, because they've already had it before betting was even legal. They had this problem. So now you have a player that's betting on games. I don't think the NBA gets to take their time with this the same way the NFL does. they've got to squash it right away. And it doesn't matter what Jonte Porter says or does next. He might be as gracious as you can possibly be. He might still get a lifetime ban.
Going to make an example of somebody, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, Giannis Antetokounmpo and his Achilles, they say, oh, he's okay. It's not serious. But isn't that kind of scary, though? Because once you sort of dent the Achilles, then now don't you have to worry about that thing going the rest of the way?
It was weird because it was a non-contact foul. He had turned and he was going back down the court. There was he didn't do anything to it, and he just fell down.
Guy running on the field had his Achilles go during football. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So you never know how the Achilles is going to go. But now that it's weakened, you've got to be worried about Giannis.
Well, but are they saying Achilles? Because the last I heard, it was just a calf injury, a high.
I think that's what it was turning out to be. It turned out to be a calf strain, but it looked like an Achilles originally.
Well, it did,
because it's the same. It's the same area basically. So the MRI confirmed, okay, not the Achilles, but you do have to worry about once it starts to strain, how much more do you have before that thing goes? And a person does not have to touch you. I had a friend. We were playing pickup basketball. And I was guarding him, and he got around the corner on me. I didn't touch him. Tore his Achilles on the way to the basket. So
did he blame you anyway?
No. It was just a freak accident.
Jeffrey would have blamed you.
I totally would have blamed you.
Well, everybody saw it, so but
Jeffrey still would have blamed you.
Maybe, but
really don't matter. I'd blame.
He was too busy being in pain because of his Achilles.
No,
but
Jeffrey would have overcome that, and he would have blamed you.
But the thing is, you doesn't need to be a contact injury. When it's going, it's going.
Everybody would have thought it was a contact injury if you would have done that to Jeffrey.
Yep. I'd have sold it.
Damn it, Keon!
Why?
Yeah.
I get all like
that.
Yeah. What's her name?
I know you're thinking of too.
Nancy Kerrigan.
Why?
Hurry Harry says, you're right. I tore my Achilles and it's weak and I got scar tissue. See what I'm saying? Lacrosse guy says, you're totally right, Jeffrey. If Rose would have admitted it, he'd be in the Hall of Fame today. Yeah. It would have been some time in between, but he eventually would have been forgiven. You got to be, you got to be humble. And that's not Pete Rose. Kiss the Cook says, can I say they're poker and fudge shop? No, you can't say that. You can't say that. I'm not going to put that in that same sentence.
What?
We've already communicated what you were trying to communicate about the Coyotes. We're just going to leave that there.
What does poker have to do with anything?
Just we're going to leave that one behind. Heavy Metal Maniac says, not sure if you guys have talked about it, but I'm seeing the Coyotes been talking with Utah and might be leaving if they can't get an arena deal. I'm pretty sure they're not going to get it done. Probably going to end up leaving. Hope not. What's your thoughts? Well, my thoughts are, oh crap, because the NHL, they are preparing 2 schedules. This is how fast it might happen for next year. One schedule has them playing in Phoenix. The other schedule has them playing in Salt Lake.
See, but here's the thing.
I bleep you not. It's a real thing. They are drafting 2 versions of next season's schedule. Not a couple seasons away. Next season. That's how fast this could go down.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. How long since the Coyotes have been in the playoffs? How long since they've been a relevant team in the NHL?
It's been a few years since they've been playoff worthy.
More than a decade.
Yeah. No, I think like 4 or 5 years ago they were playoff.
More than a decade. I believe the last time they were in, it was
really?
It was easily in the early 2000s. Easily.
All right. Well, I'll take your word for it, but I thought it was like 4 or 5, 6 years ago that they were actually
made the playoffs. More than a decade.
And they're hanging around.
The Coyotes qualified for the postseason 2012.
All right, so 20.
Blimey, it was worse than I thought.
More than a decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
12 years.
And so does it really hurt us? I mean, really? Really, does it hurt the state of Arizona to have the Coyotes go to Utah? When are we going to stand up? Like you always say, Jeff, when are we going to stand up and say enough's enough? We're not going to pay for your damn arena. We're not going to give you all the tax breaks. We're not going to give you, every advantage. It's not our fault. You couldn't work things out with the city of Glendale. You had a beautiful arena there, and it's not our fault that you chose to leave and burn bridges. So
I
see you
think
later.
It's pretty much now, Randy, because Tempe did that. Scottsdale is kind of doing that. So, and I don't think it's about the Coyotes. It's about the ownership. It's about the fact that they haven't done the things that are necessary to do better or be better.
I hate to say it's about the Morello family or the owner. I mean, these guys came in relatively quickly. They've only had ownership stake less than 5 years in this franchise.
But these were crucial years that they needed to sort some of these things out.
Yes, and probably have made some moves that they shouldn't have made. But I can't see the NHL if another franchise were granted like an expansion franchise, which I don't foresee happening in the NHL anytime soon. I don't think that we're going to be punished because the Coyotes left. I think there'll have to be many different things looked at if there's an expansion franchise and we're in on the bidding. Again, it takes a lot of work on the part of Arizona. If they want an NHL franchise, they're going to have to put a committee together. They're going to have to persuade the NHL why this is going to work. They're going to have plans in place. I mean, like when Major League Baseball granted an expansion franchise to the city of Phoenix or to Arizona, they had a stadium in the works. They had a place to play. They had a timeline. They had a committee. They had guarantees for Major League Baseball on how Arizona was going to support that. And we saw what kind of a great success they had. 4 years into the franchise, they won a world championship. So I see you later, I guess. I mean, don't sit here and threaten the good people of Arizona because you can't get a building put up. You shouldn't have left Glendale, in my opinion.
We got to take a break. When we come back, more people have more things to say about the Arizona Coyotes going bye-bye. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I'll say from the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. It's the one major that has eluded Rory McIlroy. He has another chance to become the sixth player to complete the career Grand Slam. Rory has learned so much here at Augusta through the years, going back to his collapse in 2011.
Sometimes you just have to take the conservative route and be a little more disciplined and patient. And, with a 72-hole golf tournament, you can be patient, you can be disciplined, and you can, stick to your game plan. And, that's something that, I've really tried to learn at this tournament over the years.
Well, you can't be too patient. Usually the story for McIlroy at the Masters is a slow start followed by a backdoor top 10. He's actually missed the cut here 2 of the last 3 years. McIlroy's in a loaded group this year with 2022 Masters champion Scottie Scheffler and Xander Schauffele. Tee time 10:42 Eastern, but expect that to be moved back with the incoming thunderstorms. You're listening to coverage of the 2024 Masters on Westwood One.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Traveling, volunteering, spending time with family. What's your retirement look like? With income planning from Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible strategy that considers things like market conditions and healthcare expenses, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Visit fidelity.com/income planning. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services member NYSE SIPC.
Ricky Fowler wins the trophy seemingly nobody wants to win during Masters Week, the par 3 contest. Let's check the leaderboard, sponsored by Staybill. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Staybill. Visit staybill.com for more information. The reason so many choose not to hand in a scorecard for the par 3 is no one has ever won the par 3 and the green jacket in the same year. Fowler shoots 5 under today to win by 2 ahead of Sepp Straka, JT Poston, and Santiago De La Fuente. Straka is one of 5 players to put down a hole-in-one today. 5 holes in one, tied for second most in par 3 contest history. Of course, many players have their family members caddy for them and hit shots. Grayson Murray's fiance, Christiana, wasn't playing around. She hit 1 tee shot within 10 feet. From Augusta, I'm
Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Big George says, Randy, looks bad when the 5th largest city in the country, Phoenix, loses a professional sports franchise to the 117th largest city in the country, Salt Lake City. Woof. Yeah, yes, it does. But then you have to also remember, okay, let's say, what is a normal hockey stadium seat? About 30? 30,000?
No.
How many?
Between 17 and 20.
Okay, so 20. Let's just say 20. 20,000 people. Well, a city as big as Phoenix or Salt Lake can put 20,000 people into a stadium. A bigger place, you have more, jerseys being sold and more things being sold, but you can only fit 20,000 people in that arena. So 117th largest city in the country can take care of a franchise and be profitable just as much as they could be in the 50th or even the 5th. But you have more of an opportunity to make consistent and more money from the larger market. Yeah.
Problem is that the Arizona Coyotes had a viable stadium to play in, and I know it was Glendale. I know it was on the west side of town. But they were able to play out there and able to sustain a team out there in the Glendale facility. They chose to move before they had another place.
They lost their lease because they didn't pay the taxes. Why wouldn't they pay the taxes?
And that's what I'm talking about, because they don't feel like because they're an NHL franchise, they're billionaire owners. They don't need to pay taxes.
They think they're boosting the economy, so why we should get an offset on taxes. Now, unclear as to whether or not they're boosting the economy or what it is that they're actually boosting, being a team that's not good, but that's what the thought process is there for most of these owners that think that they deserve tax breaks.
They got a basketball team called the Utah Jazz. Bruno Baller's right. The Utah already took the Jazz from New Orleans. Utah is experts at gentrification. Ooh.
Well, I can tell you that Westgate would not exist had it not been for the original ownership group that came here with the original Arizona Coyote ownership group. Westgate was all a part of that whole building.
Was the Coyotes here there before State Farm Stadium?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That was when because the Cardinals did not build out there. The Cardinals were playing at ASU Sun Devil Stadium, remember, for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Coyotes went out there and they had this grand idea about Westgate. That's why Westgate exists today, because of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the city of Glendale, Arizona Cardinals couldn't get together. The Cardinal or the Coyotes weren't paying the taxes, and this came to a big fallout in the city of Glendale.
I have a question.
Jeffrey O'Brien.
Why didn't they arrest the Coyotes for tax evasion? Should have arrested every single one of them. The Zamboni driver too, for tax evasion. Unpaid taxes should have meant somebody's getting arrested.
Well,
because that's what happens with you and me.
That does not happen to billionaires when they skip taxes. Look at
that's
Trump.
some horse crap.
No billionaires don't get arrested when they get in tax trouble. It just doesn't happen.
So only Murillo could have just paid the damn taxes and stayed in Glendale. He's been here long enough to have made that decision, right? He could have paid the taxes and kept the team in Glendale.
It could have, but again, like Keon and I both said,
don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out.
And that's what I said originally. See you later.
And that's the thing. And so it's not that when say how is it a bad look that you lost your team to another city? This is not the same thing. Like we were talking the other day about the Atlanta Thrashers losing their team 2 times. There's no interest for the Thrashers in Atlanta. It's Atlanta. It's just not a hockey town. And so they lost their team twice in large because they didn't have the money. They weren't making any. That's not the case here.
I think Arizona is a hockey town, a hockey state, and I think they could flourish here. The problem is we didn't ask for the Winnipeg Jets to come down here and be the Arizona Coyotes. And the NHL granted us this franchise. And since it's been here, we've gone to the playoffs twice in their history here in the desert.
Well,
and Arizona doesn't want that. They want their own franchise, and they
I
want a
don't know.
franchise they can get behind.
I don't think
And-
that's as important to everything
Well,
because
I
it
don't
doesn't matter. What matters is that it was a bad ownership. Is that that's the ownership matters. You could have a bad ownership, start from scratch here. How many times have we been pounding our head in the wall about the Kendricks thing? Yeah, we got a World Series when we first started out, but there was a long ass drought, and this a trip to the World Series the Diamondbacks just had wasn't on purpose. That just happened because all the right pieces fell into the laps of the Diamondbacks because the Diamondbacks don't spend like the other teams. So it was just an organic thing. We've seen that happen with some other teams, but so don't act like the Diamondbacks being brand new is why we got that. They pulled money into it, and then after that. So unless some new team's going to come in here and hey, we got a Stanley Cup, and now they suck for 20 years too. No, we just want some good ownership in here.
What I'm trying to say is when the Winnipeg Jets came here originally, and became the Arizona Coyotes. First of all, they were playing in downtown Phoenix. Then they wanted their own stadium, but they wanted to have a stadium and business district. That's why this West Side out here, this big complex out here exists because of the Arizona Coyotes. That was part of that thing. But the Coyotes did not want to play fair. They wanted all the tax breaks and they wanted all the profits, and they weren't going to work it out with the city of Glendale. So there became this the gnashing of teeth and outer darkness. And city of Glendale said, "Well, see you later." And now you've got the Morello family, and you've got the Arizona Coyotes threatening the taxpayers of Arizona, saying, "Well, if we don't get this, we're going to move."
Okay.
Well, I say, Sealy Gay.
We'll
We'll talk to you later.
If the NHL is already preparing a schedule that has them in Salt Lake, then I think Morellos have already talked to the NHL, and I think they've already been like, "Yeah, we're probably not going to get
Thank you.
this." So
You're probably right.
Get
You're
ready,
probably right.
because we're going to be the Utah Jets here in a little bit,
or whatever it is they choose to be. Which is
Salt
sad.
Lake City Goals.
It's
well,
goals.
he's Ryan Smith, the guy who owns the Utah Jazz. He's just some billionaire who lives there. I don't know. Does he own the Jazz? I think he does. Yeah, he does. And he's like, "Hey, Utah, let's come up with a name for a team." Is he gonna buy them? Do you think that he's gonna? Because if he's the one who's leading the charge on that, does that mean he's getting ready to buy the Coyotes from Morello and moving them to Salt Lake?
Don't know. And Big George might be right. It might be a bad look for the NHL, the Arizona. One of the largest cities in the country loses an NHL franchise. But Big George, remember the Diamondbacks? I feel like they can overcome this, and I feel like several years down the road we can get another NHL franchise. But they've got to be organized. They have to have a place to play. They've got to think this through, man. They can't just be going around strong arming the taxpayers of Arizona. It's just not going to happen here.
And I think the context matters. Like, as much as it's a bad look that a team leaves a big market and goes to a smaller one, why is that team leaving? It's not because they don't have support. It's not because people don't go watch the games. They want less taxes. That's it. What does that have to do with the fans? They didn't cause this to happen.
They want their cake and they want to eat it too. It comes down to
how
that.
it works.
They want everything.
Pull the plug says, "How many arena deals do scrappy subpar teams need?" The owners were looking to move the club from like day one. Why else would they make no moves for improvement? Also, even without all the losing, what has been done for endearment to Phoenix? Well, I know. Let's trade the one player that had any name recognition to even non-followers. Just what the area needs. Another ice rink that seats 4 times more than is needed. It's all good points. Pull the plug.
Yeah, I just think that when they took over, they hired a guy that he plays the long game as a general manager. So that has to factor in too, that they knew that they were going into a long-term rebuild, and so that was going to take some time, and it was going to take some patience on the part of the fans. The part that I don't like is that while you were asking them to be patient with this subpar product that was going to be out on the ice, you're also jerking them around trying to get, tax breaks here and there. And I don't understand that at all.
Last Optimist says, "I just wish Glendale would have offloaded Westgate and Gila River Arena to the Coyotes." What type that type of setup is why the owner bought the team. He's a real estate developer first. Coyotes are just an engine to fuel his real estate development project in the Valley. Coyotes aren't threatening Arizona. Tempe rejected selling them land. They're not asking for anything from Phoenix, but the ability to buy a piece of land and attach it to some utilities. Yeah, and I think Scottsdale might put a roadblock on that.
And
so
they want the land,
well,
but
he didn't add the and.
They don't want to pay the taxes on the land. They'd like to get the money from being the Coyotes. They'd like to get the money from whatever district, they lease out all the little shops and stuff around the stadium. They want the money from that, and they don't want to pay taxes on it.
I'll give the Coyotes this. They're asking for less than other teams have asked for, or other franchises in other sports. They say, we want you to put up this much money, and I want these tax breaks, and I want this thing. Coyotes not asking for as much. They're not asking you to build them the arena. They're asking for 25%
of it or whatever.
Well, no, it was, remember back when it was a $2.1 billion arena in downtown Tempe? They only wanted $1.9 billion in private funding, so they were only asking for 200 million.
Oh yeah, I was just agreeing that they're not asking for 25%. Yeah.
So Slow Mo Zo says, aren't the Chiefs doing the same thing? The Chiefs might also be doing worse than what the Coyotes were asking for. So Scratch Me Because already working on names. How about the Utah Ice Mormons? Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
No matter what they call them, Scratch Me Because I'll probably call them the Ice Mormons. I kind of like that.
Let's do it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's already stuck. Bruno Baller says, yeah, it was the 2011 when the Coyotes made it all the way to the conference finals and then lost. Kiss the Cook says ownership had three opportunities. Go back to Glendale, partner with the Suns owner, better chance now that Sarver's gone, or improve Madhouse on McDowell. Pick one. And he says it's the Utah Kneeling Altar Boys versus the Hurricanes. I don't think the Mormons have altar boys. So
no, I don't think they do.
Could be the Utah 10 speeds.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
I don't think they ride 10 speeds anymore.
Well,
sure they do.
I saw one recently. So
okay, well then,
yeah. I don't know if everybody does.
The Utah Missionaries.
You can call a team the Missionaries, and then they move it someplace else. Then it's just you can keep the name.
That's true.
A lot of people do the Missionaries.
It's basically missionaries. Yeah.
Pineapple Express says, wait, is that the Doug Emmerich guy checking the Masters scoreboard when the Masters doesn't start until tomorrow? Well, we have updates today. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Like practice rounds and the like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just talking.
They had the par 3 competition today. And, news and notes from the Masters. This is the
hey, don't complain about updates.
Come on, man.
They're updating you, okay? Be updated.
Yeah.
Why don't you just be grateful? Wow. Here we are updating you.
Free of charge, mind you.
Keep you up to speed here. You don't have to pay for it. I mean, it's free.
That's inconsiderate. Lost Toby says if Pete Rose would have had a translator, he would have never been suspended.
Yeah, I concur. Yeah.
Fifth letter says bitch ass Coyotes. Donnie says Masters picks. Anyone? We did them yesterday, Donnie. You're behind the times. But he has Brooks Koepka, Wyndham Clark, Hideki Matsuyama, and Will Zalatoris. Oh, geez, Donnie, way to be brave with your picks there.
I'm going Matsuyama.
No, you're not. That's not what you said yesterday.
Yeah, I said Matsuyama.
He did, yeah. I said Rory yesterday.
What did I said? The Scheffels, either Scheffler or the Scheffel. Either way,
the same person.
Oh, that's interesting. All right, guys. Hour 2 is next. Daily Blender, 1580 Fanatic.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Wyndham Clark isn't your average Masters rookie, already a major champion, having conquered the U.S. Open at LACC. He's ranked 4th in the world. Clark would love to become the first Masters rookie since 1979 to win the green jacket.
It'd be an amazing accomplishment, and I like my chances. I really like myself on this golf course. I feel good on a lot of the tee shots and approaches, and there's so much creativity. So, I feel good coming into the week.
Clark tees it up at 10:54 Eastern with Victor Hovland and Cameron Smith. Expect that to get pushed back, though, with thunderstorms in the forecast tomorrow morning. You're listening to coverage of the 2024 Masters on Westwood One.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Ricky Fowler wasn't even in the Masters field the last 3 years, so don't tell him he can't win the par 3 contest because of the so-called curse associated with it. Let's check the leaderboard, sponsored by Wrangler Jeans. It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles. Fowler wins with a score of 5 under. He'll try to win his first major this week and become the first player to win both the par 3 and the Masters in the same week. Fowler's good buddy Jordan Spieth was in his group. Spieth had his 2-year-old son, Sammy, take a cut with the tiniest drive you'll ever see. Sammy was in the miniature white jumpsuit as one of Jordan Spieth's caddies. Spieth did not post a score. Sepp Straka, JT Poston, and Santiago De La Fuente finish at 3 under, 2 shots back at 2 under par. Austin Eckroat at 1 under, Matt Fitzpatrick, Torbjorn Olesen, 5 holes in 1 from Sepp Straka, Victor Hovland, Luke List, Gary Woodland, and Lucas Glover. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose right there in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. It's talking about how the NHL has sort of shown their hand and how they're feeling about the Arizona Coyotes. Probably going to be the Utah Ice Mormons here pretty soon. And I don't know. Call their bluff, Phoenix. Nobody else needs to bid on that land. Let them have their land, and let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Just let them have the land. I mean, for how many ever $1 million, sure. But I don't know. I hate this whole thing. Although I do look forward to the Roadrunners coming back. That would be nice because we'll always have hockey here. We'll just have the Roadrunners.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
minor league hockey fights are probably better than major league hockey fights.
I mean, you got to believe the Roadrunners to be a lot of fun to watch.
I knew they were for many, many years. Why wouldn't they be again? So anyway, so let's get back to the text line and wrap this thing up. Utah Blues, says Slow Mo Zo. Hey, listen, this ain't a Mormon radio station. I mean, we're not in Salt Lake. We don't want to help them name their dumb team.
And also the St. Louis Blues already exist.
Why don't you just call them the Jazz? I don't know. Pineapple Express says, thanks. I see what he was doing. I'm updated and I'm appreciative. That's much better, Pineapple Express. Last Optimist says the Chiefs do not own their stadium. The county owns it and levies an entertainment tax to fund its maintenance, along with the lease money paid by the Chiefs. Chiefs asked the county to extend the tax and dedicate those funds for specific stadium improvements as a condition for them to sign a lease extension. Usually hate team owners extorting towns, but in these 3 specific instances, I feel like the teams are being wronged by their partner governing body. Okay, fair enough. And then with the 3, I guess I got to roll up for the other 2. He says that the Chicago Bears pulled out of their move to Arlington because the property appraiser decided to value the land as if the Bears had already developed it. They wanted to pay vacant lot taxes while it was under development, then pay full value once they opened it. And then the Coyotes situation. So those are the 3 he's talking about. Man Bear Pig says the Utah Keep Suites. I don't understand that.
I don't know that. I don't get that one either. I
The
potentially
Keep Suites?
Yeah, what's that
I'm
mean?
potentially not Mormon enough. I don't.
Do I need to look that up? I'll look it up because I didn't feel like if I'm looking up Mormonisms, keep sweet, pray and obey. Oh, it must be something from it must be something from Netflix because a Netflix thing just came up there. The documentary. Okay, I got you. Donnie says, "Gee, sorry, some people have desk jobs, you know." Oh yeah, because he gave his master picks like a day after we did it.
Oh,
You're not forgiven, Donnie.
Donnie, you can't be that busy. You are currently arguing with Fish Tank on the Twitter.
Yeah,
like aggressive.
always,
Yeah.
every day, all day.
Like you are going back and forth right now.
What are they arguing about now?
Well, Fish Tank was saying, the Coyotes leaving is going to cause him to lose his interest in hockey. So Donnie took the opportunity to call him a fair weather fan. And Fish Tank is like, that doesn't make any sense because
it does.
My interest is attached to my team.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're gone, I'm not as interested. That's the opposite of a fair weather fan. So they've been going back and forth on that for last hour.
Yeah. So my fair weather fanness, if the Coyotes leave, then now it's the Roadrunners, and that's it. Outside of that,
you don't have to stick with a team if they literally leave your city.
Yeah. And outside of that, I'm not really that big of a hockey fan. And so for Fish Tank to say that, I got no issue with that. I mean, if the Coyotes, the local team, is the only reason he cares about hockey and now they're gone, that's fine. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, like that's your connection to the sport. And you could either find a new connection or you could just not watch.
Rough Rob says, Coyotes should share a stadium with the Phoenix Rising since they're ass.
Well,
are they ass now?
I don't
Phoenix
know.
Rising used to be pretty good.
That's what I thought. That's what I have been told by the people who watch the Phoenix Rising out here. I haven't made it to a game yet, so.
Bruno Baller says, I suppose they could just keep Coyotes and call them the Utah Coyotes. Are there even Coyotes in Utah? That's the question I have.
I'm sure.
I don't think, according to Mormon law, Coyotes are allowed in Utah.
That's a very specific law. Kiss the Cook says, welcome everyone. I'm Elder Barry. Thank you for tuning in to Utah Missionary Hockey. Before the puck drops, we're waiting for the players to get into the offensive missionary position.
Yeah, Coyotes actually are in Utah. There are a lot of them. They're indigenous there.
No kidding.
No,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I read it somewhere. They're not allowed.
Well, I'm on saltlakecity.gov. So.
Ryan Smith is asking people for new ideas for names, so I don't think they're going to keep Coyotes.
How about Holy Underwear?
Holy Underwear. It depends on how you spell it. So I saw this and I was like, oh my goodness. Did you hear about Julio? Is it Urias? Is that how you pronounce that? Urias? Urias?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never said it out loud.
So.
Urias?
Urias.
I also haven't said it out loud though. So.
All right.
Julio Urias, I guess he's facing 5 misdemeanor charges after a domestic violence arrest. He's a former Dodger player.
Oh boy.
Which is not surprising. But yeah, I guess he was engaged in an argument with the woman, pushed the victim against the fence and pulled her by the hair or shoulders. So yeah, why does it always seem to be Dodger players? What is up? I mean, there's gotta be some connection there.
Maybe they don't do background checks in LA.
That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it.
Just a nice
background
check would have
all right.
Showed you this one coming from a mile away.
The Dodgers are like, but if we do background checks, we will have no players. You can't do background checks.
I'm just saying. You got this.
And Shohei's like, I'll take the over on that.
Yep. No one did a background check on his interpreter or him. One of those two.
We're going to find out all sorts of dirt about Shohei Ohtani now.
Well, because the IRS is involved. The IRS is not going to bury this because they're the IRS. They want their money.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's going to be like a shipping container full of incriminating evidence. That's all I'm going to say.
Shipping container.
That's all I'm going to say.
one of those Maersk ships there in
Don't
the, in
know.
the harbor?
Don't know. All I know is. All right, well, let's shift gears. And John Calipari, he took a pay cut.
Well, sort of, but not really though.
No, okay, so he was making $8.5 million with the Wildcats, and now with the Arkansas, $7 million. And he gets a $1 million signing bonus and a $500,000 retention bonus every year. But still,
it's
but
$8.5
per
million.
year, it's less.
But he has incentives, and
at
pretty
65,
sure he's gonna-
my only incentive is going to be, did I go poo today?
Well, if those incentives are John Calipari winning a championship, though, it's not exactly what was going on in Kentucky, which is why he's no longer at Kentucky.
Aha.
Man will go out there and recruit the most talented team on paper, and then they lose in the second round of the tournament every year. I mean, he should have more championships for how good his teams have been.
Yeah.
He's had entire rosters where all 5 guys started in the NBA at one point. So just there should be more success there. I think he's always been a great recruiter. I don't know that he's the best X's and O's coach, and it shows in March.
Does he look healthy to you?
Cal?
This deal goes to 2031. Is he going to make it to 2031?
He's going to make it.
All right.
Yeah.
He'll be 70 something.
Yeah, he'll make it.
Like 72. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's no point.
No, I mean he's a great basketball coach and an all-timer, like definitely someone who's going to the Hall of Fame, but he should have more wins. And so I think it's an interesting decision on both of their sides.
On one hand, you say he should have more wins. On the other hand, you're saying that he should be a Hall of Famer. Why is he a Hall of Famer?
Because he has had success. It's not like he's never gotten it done.
Just run of bad luck.
He does have a couple of national championships, but so he's done enough. It's just when you look at him, we should talk about John Calipari the way we talk about Coach K, and we don't, because he hasn't converted a lot of his talent into actual success.
Yeah.
So he's left some stuff on the table. That's why I say Hall of Famer, but
I think he's already in the Hall of Fame. But
is
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So goofy looking bastard Robbie Avila, he's gotten into the transfer portal. Do you know what I'm talking about? Sophomore, he was first team All Missouri Valley Conference. Played for Sycamore. The guy they called Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
You should have said that. That's how I know him.
The glasses, the big doughy guy with the glasses.
The only reason to watch the NIT was that guy right there.
Yeah, so now he's like, I got attention, so I'm in the portal. So who's gonna pick him up? What kind of team do you think is gonna pick up chubby Clark Kent there?
I'm not sure who's going to pick him up, but I think he's going to have a chance to land on a good squad, because I think what he showed this year is everything you want to see from a big guy, the ability to score in space, but he's got the kind of Jokic aspect to his game where he's a great passer too. And I think that's the part that really draws a lot of interest. He's a good player.
Here's his stats.
Despite what he looks like.
He averaged 17.4 points a game, 6.6 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 31 some minutes per game. And how tall is this guy again? That's a big guy. I know he's a big
6'10".
Okay, he's pretty big. He's about a basketball player height, right? Anyway, and so yeah, 6'10", 240 pounds, got the Kurt Rambis goggles there. 53.6% from the field, 39.4% from 3-point range. So this kid is versatile. He's a skilled big man. And so, okay, now we'll see if this goofy looking bastard can get on a real team.
I'm sure he will. He's clearly got a high basketball IQ. The guy is smart. He plays the game looking for other people, and he's exciting too. I think there is something to just, you could market him if nothing else.
How?
By the way he plays.
Oh, I'm gonna say a big doughy bastard. I mean, how do you market?
Look, he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's already there.
Yeah. I know, but what do you do with that?
put his face on every poster and get people to watch these games. That's what you do with that. Try and get butts in seats. He was viral on online because of you look at him and you're like, what is this? And then he starts playing and you're like, oh my God, he
come
can
see
play.
Robbie Avila. He looks like you, but he doesn't play like you.
That's a thing. It's
See?
relatable.
I got great marketing ideas. I really do.
That's relatable.
Hey, remember the other day when we were talking about the Major League Baseball, all the pitching injuries, and of course the union says, "Hey, that's because you sped up the pitch clock, you dummies. You sped up the on-base pitch clock from 20 seconds to 18 seconds.
Right.
Pandemonium." And then the Major League Baseball says, "Why don't you shut the F up? You don't know what you're talking about. There is absolutely no proof of that." And Major League Baseball Players Union said, "Well, why don't you go F yourself?" And then the MLB said, "No, you F yourself first." He's like, "I'll F you right in the F hole." And then, oh my God, it just got out of control. We're not going to I can't even tell you the rest.
Yeah.
So, well, then CBS took a look at this. They're like, "Hey, hold on, we'll take a look at this. For as long as we're CBS, we'll take a look at this." And they said, "All right, okay, let's see. There's 4 possible causes for the reason, why do we have more pitching injuries than before?" And they said, okay, well, when they looked at the pitch clock and they said, yes, of course, the pitch clock could be contributing to the increase in pitcher injuries. It affords pitchers less recovery time between pitches, and thus they're making more pitches while fatigued. Greater fatigue equals greater injury risk. And if it's true, if you're throwing a baseball, lifting weights, riding a bike, I mean, it could be anything that could do that. So yeah, it could be adding to it. They didn't poo-poo the whole idea. And then they picked up what I said the other day, max effort pitching. Now I combine max effort pitching along with pitch clock, saying if you're trying to be decisive and you're running at a time, you go to the heat. You're like, I'll just throw the fastball. And maybe that is more fastballs thrown. So somebody needs to look at the stats and see, are pitchers throwing more heat than they did in the past, rather than change ups and, sliders and this and that. And so, but the max effort pitching, they said that the fastball velocity, the spin has gone up 1.5 miles per hour since 2015. It was 92.6 miles an hour then. It's 94 miles an hour now. So pitchers throwing max effort all the time, and it just doesn't bode well for injuries, right?
Probably not. Might need to do something about that though. Like if your panic pitch is your fastball, like what's not getting communicated properly? Because they've already had the whole thing where the catcher can use the watch and choose the pitch. Like they've tried to streamline this thing to give the pitchers enough time. So what's not clicking?
So then they said, well, could be the foreign substances thing, using a foreign substance to generate spin and movement that you can't generate naturally. We call that cheating. But when you take away the foreign substances and you take away the control, what do you have to do? You got to throw it harder, right?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, they were allowing guys to use spider tack. So it wasn't like cheating because they were allowing pitchers to use it for a long time. Then they just took it away with not any real replacement for it. Guys try to use the rosin and sweat thing. And I think that's probably adding to more of it. If you have to put more effort into pitches to get them to rotate at the velocity that you want them to, for every pitch you have to do that. I think that's probably doing more of the damage than the pitch clock.
And so the other thing they're saying is specialization at the amateur level. They're saying that, these kids, they're not yet close to physical maturation, yet they're being trained to throw hard, and they're being ranked by industry leaders based on those skills. And so the focus ends up being on that. And there's more wear and tear on their arms than before. I think, Randy, you've said this before, where the way they're being taught to pitch young is not sustainable into a professional career.
See, I would agree with that much more than the panic pitch. First of all, these are professional baseball players. They have their pitches laid out. They have meetings. They watch a lot of tape. They know how they're going to pitch to a guy. They already have that in mind, and it's just a matter of executing the pitches. I think this is more of a training thing. I think this is more of a when these guys are in college or in their club ball, travel ball, whatever it is, they're overusing these kids. And by the time they get to the major league level, there's so much wear and tear on the shoulder, and these guys are expected to be superhuman. And now you've taken away this spider tack, this substance that they were allowing the pitchers to use for spin rate, and they want more offense. So they're taking away everything the pitchers have. These guys are trying to dig deep, as baseball will do. They'll try to adjust and make it so that these pitchers can be as effective, if not more effective. This has been going on since day one of baseball. I mean, I can remember back in the 70s, the trick was you get a bar of soap and you put it inside your waistband on your pants as a pitcher, and then you've got a little sticky, soap residue on your hand, and it helps you on your fingers, and it helps you rotate the ball. This is nothing new, but Major League Baseball is trying to make it harder on pitchers by taking away this, this spider tack, if you will, this sticky substance. And I think it's a combination of when these kids are young, they're just. I mean, you look at the college level; these kids are they're run out there every day. It's a dog and pony show, and these colleges and these travel club teams are just using up these kids' arms. And then when you get to the major leagues, you're supposed to be mature and able to throw these pitches, and your arm is tired. And you go out there for 200 plus innings, every season, and eventually things are going to start breaking down. And I think that's what's happening to pitchers. I don't think it has anything to do with the pitch clock. I think it's ridiculous.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, Hamilton Porter has a great question. Donnie's on there saying some dumb crap. And then Last Optimist, I have no idea what he's saying yet. We'll find out. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 US-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harman Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmansolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call. 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmansolar.com.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful VC turbo engine, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get the 2023 Nissan Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy among gas engines. Availability is limited. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. Auto Pacific segmentation, excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2023 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2023 Nissan Rogue. As shown, Nissan Rogue Platinum all-wheel drive, 28 city, 34 highway. Actual mileage may vary.
Hi, I'm Ralph Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
And we're the Weekend Warriors.
So, Ralph, what are the Weekend Warriors all about?
Well, we talk about sports.
National sports?
Of course.
Regional sports?
Sure.
Arizona sports?
Yeah. And we also interview local athletes, coaches, and sports-related business owners to share their amazing stories.
But what if they don't have an amazing story?
Then we talk about something else. You know what, Neil? You're fired.
Again, well, listen in for great sports talk, amazing interviews, and to see if I have a job next week.
You won't. It's the Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So Hamilton Porter texted in. He said, so my wife and I talking about this Coyotes thing, and we come from Detroit, where all sports teams are revered, and no matter how bad, she asked me a question that I can't answer. Maybe you natives can. Why does no one want them? Why are Phoenix sports fans so wishy-washy with their sports teams? Okay, so here's the thing. We're not wishy-washy with our sports teams until our sport teams get wishy-washy with us. You know, there's a lot of years we weren't happy with the Diamondbacks because they wouldn't spend a dime. People were going out and supporting the Coyotes like crazy, and then all of a sudden the Coyotes stopped doing what was necessary, to continue to be a team. Why do you pay your damn taxes? Pay your damn taxes. That's not the fans. That's the team. So when the teams get wishy-washy with us, how many years did Bill Bidwell not spend a dime on putting a good team on the field? So yeah, we weren't happy with that until later on when his son took over and started abusing everybody, and then actually started winning. And so we're not wishy-washy about our teams. Our teams are wishy-washy about us. And remember, Detroit had teams a lot longer than Phoenix has had teams, and also most everybody in Phoenix is from someplace else. So if you want us to buy in on the local team has to buy in on us. Now, that's why the Suns have had a more consistent fan base since Jerry Colangelo days. They've been contenders on and off over the years. No, haven't got that ship yet, but they have made an effort. They built a new arena. They treat their fans right. And, they're making the effort. You can't say the Phoenix Suns haven't spent money on bringing stars to town. I'm talking all the way back before Charles Barkley even. So, it's not the fans are wishy-washy. It's when the teams get wishy-washy with us that we're like, okay, fine, go.
And I think that's true for every fan base that deals with some level of bad or non-committal or cheap ownership, like depending on what version of that you have, you can see the way the fans react. Like they know that nothing feels guaranteed. Nothing feels like, oh, here's something if I don't believe in anything else, I can believe in this team. That they don't have that especially for the Diamondbacks, I think, or for the Coyotes in this particular instance, where you have an ownership group that came in and they never really bought in when they came in.
Yeah, they were supposed to save the day, and they didn't.
Yeah, and now you're plotting a move to Utah that sounds like you could care less about the people that live here. The hell should they care about you for?
888-368-1580. Hamilton Porter says, well, that's unfortunate. Lions and the Fords have always sucked, but at least they put money into the team consistently. Well, that's a problem. Money into a team consistently would be the Coyotes paying their taxes and staying in Glendale and then waiting till they had a deal to build a stadium someplace else before breaking the damn lease.
Don't jump before you have a place to land. And they jumped. And then they just assumed someone was going to roll a mattress out for them. And that's not happening. That's their fault.
Kid says, I was in the building for the Yotes last game in Glendale. Promise you, it's not the fans. You should have heard how bad the owner got booed for 10 seconds that they had him on camera. Cheapskate didn't want to pay his bills. Yeah, so there you go, Hamilton Porter. Hope that helps. Last Optimist says, there's a great interview with Verlander where he covers how in 2016, when Major League Baseball juiced the ball, pitchers realized that all contact was bad, so they changed their throwing angle from vertical to horizontal to get more spin rate and more power on the ball, but it torques the arm considerably more, and that causes more injuries.
Yeah, I mean, and again, baseball
interesting.
pitchers will always try to work to improve their pitches so they can stay relevant and they can stay at the top of their game. And keep in mind that throwing a baseball is inherently anti-body friendly.
It's a violent act.
You're not supposed to be doing that. And these guys started in Little League and have come up through high school ball and gone through college in some cases and minor league ball. And eventually the arm's going to wear out. That's what you're seeing here. You're seeing a lot of these guys that have put so much torque on their arm that it's inevitable. The tendons and cartilage and that stuff starts to wear out, and you have injuries.
It reminds me a lot of the NFL, actually. In the NFL, a lot of it is player safety, but the NFL likes the fact that it's easier for teams to score too, and it puts a lot of pressure on defensive players because where do you hit a person? How do you hit a person without getting into trouble? And a lot of the pitchers are finding that the tweaks that Major League Baseball is making, sometimes to the ball, I think that was a really good point. But the pitch clock and everything else, everything is adding more pressure on that pitcher to figure out what to do because it's easier to score now than it used to be.
Well, there's good news though for baseball. They have determined during a bench clearing brawl, you are allowed to use the hip drop tackle. So that was nice.
Yeah, friendly of them.
Yeah.
Can't restrict the defense completely.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I mean, it's banned in the NFL now, but at least you can still do it in baseball. So a random fact, says Hamilton Porter. Random fun fact. In her 4 years at Iowa, Caitlin Clark scored more points than Iowa football in the same time frame.
Wow.
That's sad.
That's not hard to do for a player if they get even 15 points a game.
Just outscore Iowa football. It is. I mean,
is it?
Iowa football's bad.
Well, I mean, then that should be easy.
But she didn't outscore a bunch of other teams. She outscored them specifically. It's not a comment on how great it is. It's a little bit of how great is Caitlin Clark, but also how bad is Iowa football. And offensively, they are known to be offensive. It's just bad, just real bad.
Left turn. You like Lunchables?
I do.
Yeah. Randy, do you ever give your kids the Lunchables?
Well, I mean, I used to.
Yeah. Oh, I love a
wouldn't
Lunchable.
Today, they
I
probably
would
throw me out of their houses.
No, I would do it today. I would. Somebody's like, "You're in charge of hors d'oeuvres, Jeffrey," and then I know exactly what to do.
Show
I'm gonna
up
go
with
buy
Lunchables?
some Lunchables. I'll buy a ton of them, and then you don't leave them in the package. You just rip it open and you put it out on the plates, and then you throw the packages away, and everybody's like, "Awesome," because you see the stuff that's in a Lunchable, and you're like, "Hell yeah." Love a Lunchable.
It's meat, crackers, and cheese. What's not to like?
I'm gonna charcuterie the hell out of you with these things.
Yeah.
Well, now there might be trouble because Kraft Heinz, who owns the Lunchables brand, last year they got public schools to start putting them in there as a choice, and I'm all for it. I'd eat a Lunchable for lunch. That's what they're called, Lunchables.
Yeah.
And if there's enough in there in the I'm not talking like a little dainty package. I need a man-sized package.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear God. Please don't. Please.
Oh yeah.
Please don't. please don't clip that. I need a man-sized.
I will.
Please don't. Please don't.
I will edit that out.
Son of a bitch.
It's just in the podcast we're going to hear different sounds than the words that came out of your mouth.
Oh, I thought you were going to take it out and save it. You're going to
no. I'm
save me from myself.
I'm going to destroy it.
Okay. Anyway,
we got your shit. We got your 6, Jeffco.
Thank you.
No, I can't let you do that to yourself, man.
So it's a big news thing for the money at Kraft Heinz when the public schools start serving your Lunchables, right? You're like, hello. And so there's money right there. And then now they've had it, okay, we're going to let you put it in the schools, but you're going to have to jump through some hoops first. We looked at the Lunchables nutrition information. That could be better. It's not as maybe healthy as some parents think. So they had to develop 2 new versions to meet school cafeteria guidelines.
No.
More protein, using whole grains, doing more than is what's sold in stores. Now I'm thinking is, well, why don't you make those two healthy?
If you do both, then you can just make that a whole campaign.
But now the whole thing could be totally in jeopardy because cafeteria versions, they looked into them and they're like, okay, good, more protein, more whole grains, more sodium though. That's a problem. So they're okay. So then Consumer Reports stepped in. They're like, well, let's test these things. And they tested a bunch of different Lunchables and found, well, it's not just sodium. There's also a ton of chemicals in here and kind of a relatively high amount of lead.
Oh boy.
So get more grains and more fiber and more protein, but not more lead, please. If you could just somehow keep that out of your process, that would be fantastic. In fact, the fact that your food that you're selling is cheese, meat, and crackers. How did you get so much lead in here? How is that
like the buckshot from when they shot the pig?
Yeah,
how little BBs or something?
What are you putting in here?
They say it's not enough to exceed what's allowed, but it doesn't really look good in the press, does it? But the Department of Agriculture oversees the meal program in public schools, and Consumer Reports is now petitioning them to remove the snacks from the cafeterias until some minor changes come in. And they do say minor changes were made to help Lunchables squeak by the regulations, but they should do better.
Squeak by.
Yeah. They quote, Lunchables are not a healthy option for kids and should not be allowed on the menu as part of the National School Lunch Program. They contain concerning levels of sodium, harmful chemicals, and can lead to serious health problems over time. Oh, bullcrap. Just eat the Lunchables are fine.
Well, because something like lead is actually a buildup.
Lead schmed, you're
so
kid.
if you're
you'll
eating
poop it right out.
if you're eating lead, well,
you'll
no.
hear a clink when you take a dump. The clink, clink,
No.
there it is. That's the lead. I'm good.
Let me put it this way, because when the kid was stupid in school, people would say, "I bet your house has lead paint in it." Like that. That's bad for the development of children to consume lead.
We usually tell them just stop eating the paint chips.
Yeah, well, now it's in the food. You can't tell the kids not to eat the food the school is serving. So don't serve it. Don't serve the
you just
food
tell the
that's
kid,
high in
listen,
lead.
hey, eat the Lunchable. Not everybody can get a scholarship.
Okay. Yeah, but you might be one, and we're just guaranteeing that it's not you.
Don't worry about it, kid. You're not going to get a scholarship anyway.
Yeah, I've seen your test scores.
That kid needs all the brain cells they can get. You absolutely do not eat that Lunchable.
But they're fine. Kraft Heinz says the whole thing's overblown. Lunchables are a good source of protein. They say all our foods meet strict safety standards, and we're happy to feed our own families.
Debatable.
Proud of Lunchables and stand by the quality integrity. Goes, I'll eat them still. I don't care.
Yeah, the CEO of Lunchables. Yeah, you're not.
Send them to me.
You're not eating them every day. As a kid,
I would have a Lunchable every day if my wife would allow it.
If you demonstrate there's a high amount of lead in a food, I'm not eating it. That's just. It's not like beyond the normal limits or the extent of the limit, but I don't
act like you're not interested in the idea of your junk becoming a mechanical pencil.
I am not interested in that. That sounds painful.
Pardon me?
It sounds awful. No,
I'm going to write a letter. Please close the door.
Guys,
you're on the golf course and everybody's like, who's going to keep score on the card? Not Jeffrey. Okay, that's fair. No, that's fair.
That's fair.
But let me know if you need a pencil. That's fair. Hamilton Porter says, Jeffrey, Iowa scored 1,028 points last 4 years. Do the math. It's pathetic. Well, I mean, I don't have many games.
It's just, but you're playing a sport where you score in multiples of 3s and 7s.
Right. That's
you really in college. You really ought to score more points than that.
Why is this a thing? I don't understand.
It's just that they're bad. They're bad at offense, and everybody likes making fun of them for it.
And yet,
the head coach,
the coach is still there.
Yeah, because they refused to fire him, but he had his son running the offense. And it's like, that's nepotism if I ever saw it. Your team can't score, and because the last name of the offensive coordinator is Ferenc, we're just all stuck, shackled to your inability to move the football down the field. Fantastic.
CK says, Jeffrey, I really thought you had enough man-sized packages during your naked man wrestling party.
Guys,
I don't even know what the hell he's talking about.
It was a festival.
Did we have an right, that thing.
And that's not how it works.
I didn't have a party.
It wasn't a party.
I was wearing a diaper.
You were
Shut up.
You were fighting. It's wrestling.
So, Big George says, looks like crap went down on Twitter between Donnie and Fish Tank. I guess Fish Tank ended up blocking Donnie. He says, I think we need an adult to intervene. Don't look at me. That's none of my
we're
business.
not the supervisor of Twitter. Sorry.
Here's the thing. And Fish Tank probably just, listen, he can do what he wants. You know, he's a grown up. But I understood a long time ago that Donnie's just kind of a joke. And he's a troll for troll's sake. He doesn't, there's no reason to get angry. In fact, sometimes I've appreciated how good of a troll job he does do.
Though I think in this case, probably not a great troll job in the sense that, Fish Tank lost a pet and Donnie went and made fun of that.
What?
Hence the blocking. So
what?
Just like that, I always appreciated that Donnie could troll you just talking about your
What's
your
the
team.
context of making fun of a dude's pet
He
dying?
just likes making fun of Fish Tank. That's the context.
Well, what pet died of Fish Tank?
Was a cat, I think.
No, that's fine.
I
Okay.
If
If it was a dog, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'd have to stop the
cross
show
the
if it
line
was a
for Fish
dog.
Tank there.
Yeah.
Just
Still bad. That's
I
gonna be
wouldn't go there personally.
Yeah.
But it's
that's dirty, Donnie. That's dirty. Way
why
dirty.
not? Why not just keep it on the sports? That's what you were arguing about. Why not? Keep
I
it
don't
there?
care about a cat, but other people do.
Just make fun of teams. That's what I thought this whole exercise was. But okay, maybe we don't all have the same sensibilities on that.
First, now we're all going to run and read this.
I can tell you who won't be.
Like I said, every
Yeah.
commercial break,
This guy.
I've been dialed in.
So that's why Donnie keeps texting in Fish Tank. Yeah, man, going after somebody's departed pet. That's low. That's too low. It's a blow the whistle on Donnie on that one. That's a
whistle
penalty
right there. Is that a 5-minute major?
Yeah, cat or not a cat. I mean, I love me some dogs, but if Fish Tank loves his cat, well, then that's the same thing to him. So, bad form, Donnie. That is bad form. Pinocchio says, I bet Moist One has a man-sized package for. Oh, I wouldn't say man-sized. Waldo says, Jeffrey needs a what? And there we go. It's time for a break. We'll hopefully all forget that part. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Minimum purchase required. Interest accrues from date of purchase, but is waived if paid within promotional period. Go to windowappointmentnow.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's time to replace. And right now you can get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen. Plus, with our spring savings event, you can buy one window or door and get one 40% off when you buy 4 or more units. Just text FRONT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no monthly payments, and no interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Text FRONT to 200-300 to buy one window or door and get one 40% off. And right now, save an extra $30 off every unit. Hurry, this incredible offer is only in April. Text FRONT to 200-300. Text the word FRONT to 200-300. FRONT to 200-300.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right, they're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage team.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
Today, the Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Tomorrow at 5:15 p.m., we have Game 2 of the Frozen Four NCAA hockey tournament. Don't ask me who's playing. I don't know.
What happened in Game 1?
We couldn't get away with that one. That would have taken off the entire show. I tried. No, yeah, that's all we could get. So we
Ron
get
said
45
no.
minutes. Yeah. It's one of these things where I fill out all these things and they come back marked up. So
Just can't imagine why.
some things I sneak by sometimes.
Some people care deeply about the Frozen Four. How can you deny them? You know.
I don't know.
Talk about hockey in the desert. I mean,
Yeah.
what a great opportunity right there. We could have
Yeah.
grown the audience.
Yeah.
We could have helped the cause.
Yeah.
But no, I guess he wants a couple hours of this silly show. So here we go.
Mm.
Let's talk a little football. But before we do, let's talk some legalese of football. There's a lot of stuff happening in the legal
Stuff.
term. Well, I don't know. You heard about you used to play for Keon's team.
We should quit using all those legal terms like
stuff and things. Tavondre Sweat got himself a DUI. I don't know if you're familiar with Tavondre Sweat, but the name is appropriate because he's a big kid. That is a big kid. He's really big. He's like 366 pounds. How tall is he?
6'4".
6'4". He's not even
6'4".
He's not
what?
even that tall for 366. So he's a big kid.
He's a wide human
Is
being.
he an offensive lineman? Is that what?
He's
Tavondre
defensive
does?
tackle.
Mhm.
Oh,
And so here's what happened. He got arrested for DWI. And it turns out there was a wreck Sunday morning. And so he was drinking and he popped a blood alcohol content, not Steve Keim levels, but way more than the legal amount, which is a 0.8 whatever. He got a 0.105. Pretty damn drunk for 6'4", 366. How much alcohol does a 366-pound man need to reach 0.105 by the time they breathalyzed him? You know it was higher when when the wreck happened. But yeah, I guess 87 minutes between time of accident and when they did that. So yeah, it was probably a good deal higher. But all right, let's just come back to Tavondre Sweat, who's been visiting teams, having to explain himself for what happened there. This kid sounds dangerous behind the wheel of a car. He sounds dangerous to himself. How much do you have to drink to be that big a guy and get a 0.105? You have to drink.
it's almost
lots.
twice the legal limit.
You basically have to just open your mouth and pour liquor in there nonstop for like
You're
15
mixing
minutes.
drinks in your open mouth.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
don't even use a cup. That's what it would take. It's insane.
Back
That's
in
a
the day,
lot
we
of beer.
used to have a barber chair at the old place that I would
Mhm.
visit, and they would do that. They'd mix the drink
Sure,
right there
sure.
in your mouth. Yeah.
Some places have ice, and you just pour the liquor down the ice,
Oh,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
right there.
Right there.
But if he had beer, he had a case of it. You know, if he had whiskey, he had to have almost a bottle of it because he is 366 pounds. So here's a guy who drank a lot and then got behind the wheel of a car.
Oh boy.
None of these things look great to a potential NFL team that wants to bring you to town because they're like, what are we going to do? We're going to unleash you on the general public now of our fair city.
It's just irresponsible. And plus, we just don't know if you're not responsible enough to handle you and your drinking and a car. We're going to give you millions and expect you to be responsible. You haven't even made the money yet.
Wow.
So this will probably affect his draft ability. He will probably not go as high as he would have. Well, I mean, he'll be probably very high. He'll be drunk.
What was his blood alcohol level?
It was 105.105 at the time they took it, 87 minutes later. So no way of knowing how he metabolizes the alcohol to see what it was originally, but at least at that point, 0.105.
So at his weight, the blood alcohol calculator says that 11 beers would get him right around there.
A case of beer.
And that's with an hour of time after having
right. So
he'd
need at least a 12-pack to have that 87 minutes later. At least a 12-pack. Does it say how many whiskey shots? If it's not beers, what if it's something else?
They've got a liquor option here. So
Hamilton Porter says this is some Laramie Tunsil stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Laramie Tunsil was worse somehow because it was draft day. It was video, and it came out literally right before the draft went live on TV.
Yeah, everybody could see these pictures on social media and on TV of him giggling in a gas mask filled with smoke. So I was like, "Oh, come on, Laramie!" But T'Vondre Sweat, this is going to be a story that happened a couple of weeks ago, and I bet that the NFL teams will just be like, "Hey, you promise not to do that?" He's like, yeah. And he's like, all right, you're fine. Come on.
Sounds like a good candidate for the Cleveland Browns.
How high was he?
Somewhere between 9 or 10 shots.
Wow.
So, is what it would take to get you to that blood alcohol level after an hour.
How high do you think he was going to go in the draft versus whatever he might go now?
I mean, he was.
If Steve Keim was around, he'd be a higher draft pick. This would help us.
He probably would be. I mean, he was going to be a second, mid to early second
First
rounder,
pick.
depending on how you felt about him.
He'd have been picked fourth.
and that's already a nice chunk of change. If you're picked in the second round and you're a high second rounder, that's some nice money if you can get out of that rookie deal. But he's probably not going to see that because who's going to risk that pick? That's still that, when you're talking about players drafted in the first and second round, those are guys that you expect to play at some point in their rookie season. And so to have that, I don't know if the team trusts him or any team trusts him to say, we're going to give you tons of responsibility rookie year if we trust you at all.
To give you an idea where his position in the draft might have been, he had earned Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year honors, and he won the Outland Trophy as the best interior lineman in college football last season.
Wow.
So,
yeah,
what team was he on?
Longhorns.
Texas.
Yeah. Texas Longhorns. I saw a mock draft here. I've got one pulled up that has him going near the top of the second round. He's 41st going to the Packers. So that's around where he would have been picked. It's a good football player. And it's a deep draft at his position. So like in another draft, he could have probably gone higher, but yeah, he's hurting himself here.
I just realized he was pulled over at 2 p.m.
What?
Well, it doesn't make sense. One thing says his blood alcohol level was checked at 6:08 a.m. and that there was an accident at 4:41. And another story says it was in the afternoon. I'm confused. I think that the afternoon was incorrect. So over here, I think I've got the right stuff. It was in the morning. But 6 o'clock in the 4:41 in the morning is when he was driving that thing. So anyways, don't mind me. But so yeah, I guess was going to be a first or second rounder. Now looking to be lower in the second round, possibly in the third.
I mean, I think he'll be lucky to be in the second round now. Because DUI is tough. Like that's one thing that can absolutely derail an NFL career. And here's somebody you've used draft capital on, and then they're going to jail. We've seen what happened with Henry Ruggs and his his DUI, he killed somebody. Like, no team wants to be on the hook for that.
Right.
So
Tavondre didn't kill anybody, but there is a risk.
But now you're looking at the possibility of, does he learn from this lesson?
Mm-hmm.
Does he avoid doing this again to where he doesn't actually do it in the future?
You know what I would do? I would say, listen, I had 45 tackles, 18 solo tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 4 pass breakups, 1 block kick, and a 2-yard touchdown reception while I started 14 games for the Longhorns. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to meetings, and you can send somebody from your NFL organization with me to these meetings. I will commit to going to meetings just to show you that I'm looking to, fix this problem. So you don't have to worry, and I don't have to worry. I'll start going to AA meetings. You could send somebody from the organization with me, and now look at me the way you did before.
And that might get you close to some team maybe saying, "Oh, we'll take the risk," but that's a risk I think some teams would take, later in the third or beyond at this point, because this draft is pretty deep in talent on the defensive line. So you are not necessary here.
Fine. So by meeting, I meant we're going to go drink. So whatever.
It's just
do what you want.
Like you can't help me. And that's the thing, is you might say that, like, let me go to meetings and all that. And a team might even believe you, but it's still going to be a risk of what happens if you relapse. What happens if you wind up drinking again? You can't help me if you're not on the football field because you're in jail.
The biggest thing he can do right now, I think, is be honest about everything.
Yeah.
Not try to say, "Oh, it was overblown. It wasn't as bad." Just tell the truth. If you can. Maybe he's like, "I was very drunk. I do not remember." Well, that's an answer.
Yeah, it's
not a good
it's
one.
Not an answer that they're going to like, but it is an answer. And you could look. You try and do your best with whatever hand you wind up getting dealt, and show people that you're serious about doing things the right way moving forward. It's the best that you can do. But your draft stock is tanked.
Follow 51 says, "Randy, pour me a double of your finest bourbon and keep them coming. It's my birthday. I want to try to beat Sweats 105.
It's not going to take you as many drinks.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
And don't drive a car while you do it."
He says, "Don't worry. I'm not an idiot. I'll Uber."
Just felt like I needed to say that.
No, that's fair. Ringless Joe says, "Every time I think the Suns team is improving, they fall apart. 3 great wins in a row turns into 2 back-to-back embarrassing home losses. What is the deal?" Don't know, Ringless Joe. Don't know. I've been asking that for the better last half of the entire season, and I've got no answers that help.
And now we've got everybody healthy and together. So the lack of cohesion, that's not it.
I worry about Vogel's health, because he came to that press conference after yesterday's game looking like he's like, "I have no answers. I don't know what's happening." I really like it. He's about to melt down and be like taken away to a rubber room somewhere.
His face looked so red out there during the game. Like he wanted to hit somebody, but he didn't know who he could hit. He just stood there angrily watching the game.
Yeah, you got to go far down the bench before you see somebody on this roster you can just kind of hit if you want to, because the rest of them, no. Oaktown Destroyer says, "Look at Henry Ruggs in his story. He got paid before he killed that person. It's just irresponsible, these young people." Yeah.
And look, at sometimes you're always worried. Like, this is what these general managers worry about. This is their nightmare phone call. So if you happen to do it before they give you the money, they'll say to themselves, "Bullet dodged. I'm going to pick somebody else." And maybe he's not as good a player, but he'll be out there on the field, not endangering people.
Well, this kid Sweat is going to get his opportunity. He will still get an opportunity. Just people are going to be less likely to give up, that kind of draft stock for him. So he'll get his opportunity, and he'll come out and he'll play, and he'll build himself up. But hopefully there's enough people along the way, his agent, his family, his friends, and the team, who can help support and keep an eye out for him.
That's what you hope for. And
individual results may vary.
There are players who have turned it around, so we'll see.
Sometimes you need a wake-up call. That's all I'm saying. All right, so that is 2 hours down. We got an hour to go. I say we just talk a bunch of football. We haven't talked a whole lot of NFL football in a while, and we'll put the legal stuff aside, and we will actually talk football. I know that Keon is very excited. He's got mock drafts coming out of his hoo-ha, and he's ready to share that kind of stuff. We're not doing that today. I'm just saying, I know you're excited and
I'm
ready.
just happy about it. Yeah.
Because draft is coming soon, but we'll fill you in on the latest in the NFL when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 US based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com
Oh, I'm ready.
and get ready for the workday.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
Going to college and not acquiring debt is possible with the help of the U.S. Army. You'll be able to choose the career you want and receive help to pay for your full tuition. There are also reimbursements for student loans and GI Bill benefits. In the U.S. Army, your mission will be to learn. Learn how you can be all you can be at goarmy.com/AIA Sports. That's goarmy.com/AIA Sports.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and it's the magic hour for the lines across his face. And seriously, just let me put a sunshade in there so it doesn't do that to you. Because I feel like it's gonna really get hot in there.
It hasn't before. The AC vent is like right over my head when it's going. But
it's just during when it's 115 degrees outside, I always just think, oh my God, he's going to die. He's going to die in there. And those end up being grill marks. You know what I'm saying? He's done. He's done.
No, it's cool enough for me in here. Yeah.
All right. Well, as long as you're happy, well, That's all that matters to me is that you are happy. So, all right. So anyways, Keon, where the hell he's in the controller? You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. And we're broadcasting live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And we're talking football. I got a big old pile of football. I don't know. We might come across some stuff in this stack that is really old. So just, be aware of that. I mean, this just happened. Josh Allen, the one on the Jaguars, not the quarterback. Right. Josh Allen agreed to a 5-year, $150 million deal. Nice.
Wow. Good for him.
Worth it, not worth it, Keon?
Say it again.
Worth it, not worth it? You have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. Twitter drama had me. Sorry.
You're still looking at the fish tank stuff? Is that what's happening? I just went on Donnie's post. I'm sorry, not Donnie. I went on Fish Tank's post and I put hashtag team fish tank.
Team fish tank. I saw that.
I did say that right because man, I'm worried. I said if I said team Donnie, it was an accident.
No, you said team fish tank.
Yeah. Did I get heckled for it?
No. Other people liked it.
Okay. I don't know either. So, I mean, here's the thing. I was going to say why they are so angry. It's just Fish Tank got mad, and he has every right because Donnie, what that was horrible. Talking about somebody's dead pet.
Yeah.
Shun Donnie.
And then he jumped into Choro's DMs, and that's the whole thing. Look,
he's in Choro's DMs.
Yeah, calling him a fat bleep. You're just like, what? Why are you so angry today, man? Like, what's going on?
Choro says little man syndrome. And then Patrick Toto says, or lifted truck syndrome. And Donnie says, 3 chins. You still talking? Wow. That's just a dumb thing for everybody to get crazy about.
So no, got suckered into the drama.
But I'm saying team fish tank.
Team fish
That's
tank.
what I'm saying. Donnie's he's having the time of his life. I don't think he believes half the crap he says.
The number one rule of the internet: don't feed trolls. If you don't want to interact, just don't.
He fed the troll.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Josh Allen here. So 5-year, $150 million deal. Worth it or not worth it?
I mean, I think it's worth it. The guy gets you a shot at the AFC title game every year. Granted, he keeps running into that guy in Kansas City that stops him all the time, but
this is not Josh Allen of the Bills.
No, that's what I said. This is Josh Allen.
Oh, the defense.
Jaguars.
Oh no, that guy's awesome too, though. Yeah. Okay, so that guy, Josh Allen.
God, you're not paying attention.
I told you, internet drama got me. My phone's all the way over there.
Now we know your weaknesses. Anytime you see Keon doing this,
oh, is there a fight coming up?
Yeah. He's shaking his head, looking down his crotch. He's like, I thought he was just like, oh man, I wish this worked. I thought you were going to need some help. I thought we were going to have to get you some Viagra, but no.
Wow. What? Why would I need that now?
I don't know. You're looking at your crotch. You're shaking your head. Like maybe things aren't what they used to be. I don't know.
This internet drama. I wouldn't discover that here.
That's also, I'm glad. Can I just say this? Other people probably have. That's all I'm going to say.
Depressing that you let me in this room and didn't tell me to Lysol everything if you thought other people
a lot of radiation in that room there.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to not quarterback Josh Allen, $150 million, 5 years. Worth it, not worth it? That's all I'm asking.
Worth it because he can get pressure on quarterbacks. He's really good at that, and then also has the edge rusher ability of being able to drop into coverage, which is just a hard thing to ask an edge rusher to do generally. But he does it pretty easily. He's very athletic. Worth it.
So we're going to move on to Randy's problems.
My problems?
Yeah, your problems.
All right.
In the Cardinals, you have the number 4 pick in the draft.
Yes.
First round.
Yep.
So do you think the Cardinals should take Marvin Harrison Jr. or trade down for another Monty Awesome Fart, haul of picks? What do you think?
I would, if I'm Monty, I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr., but I think it's a foregone conclusion. The Cardinals will move out of that and get more draft capital.
Let me make a case for you not being upset about that. Marvin Harrison Jr., yeah, he's going to be great. Sure, his dad was great for me. His kid can be great for you. Whatever. But Keon, didn't you say this is a wide receiver heavy draft? Like a lot of good talent coming down?
A ton, including, the guys at 2 and 3 in this draft. The case has been made, and I agree with it, that they'd probably be the top wide receivers in other drafts.
So here's what I would do. Trade the draft pick to somebody, and look at this. You have a first round pick from the Texans at 27. You can get a wide receiver there, and whoever you trade with further down in the first round, take a wide receiver there too. Take 2 of these great wide receivers, bring them in for Kyler Murray, and now he's got a better chance of getting the ball down the field to some speedsters, some guys with some great hands. You can pick the best of the best coming out of the draft. And then you've got more picks further down. You've got a bunch of picks this year, Randy. You got 2 first-round picks. You got 1 second round. You've got 3 third round. You got 1 fourth round. You got 2 fifth round. You got a 6 and a 7. You got a bunch, and 1, 2, 3, 6 of these are from Monty Awesome Farts wheeling and dealing from the previous year.
See, there's so many areas the Cardinals need to address: defensive secondary, offensive line.
You need an edge rusher. You need a cornerback.
Wouldn't be well. I think we need a little more than that. But I think that I trust Monty and what he's doing, and I don't anticipate him getting Marvin Harrison Jr. I anticipate I would probably do that. I would probably get Marvin Harrison Jr. You have the pick plus all the other picks that you have.
Okay.
But if he can make some moves and really get some more draft capital for this pick and really go after some offensive linemen and pick up a couple of wide receivers, a couple of weapons, I'm all for it. I mean, it's not going to hurt me if he vacates the 4 pick.
Taking Marvin Harrison Jr., though, that is a nobody could fire you for kind of pick.
No, not at all.
What would you do, Keon?
Man, I like Marvin Harrison Jr. a lot, so it's it's hard for me to say you trade back. I just think that guy's awesome, but if you could trade back and double up on a first round or second round picks, that'd be really nice. And if you don't go back too far, you could still get Malik Neighbors, who's going to be a fantastic receiver in this draft. You could still get Aroma Dunze, who is quickly becoming one of my favorites in the draft. I just think a big guy that can box out people and make catches the way that he does, especially the back shoulder throws, which Kyler throws a whole bunch of, would actually, be nice for the Cardinals. And then you can start addressing some of these other issues that Randy talked about, around where the Cardinals are going to be picking second in the first round. They might have the ability to draft a Chop Robinson, the edge rusher, or a Kool-Aid McKinstry for that defensive secondary. Like, there are a ton of options, and I do expect the Cardinals to be moving all up and down the draft board, maybe taking a third round pick and the second, and you pair it up to see if you can move up further into the second. There's going to be a lot of movement on draft day for Monty, because that's just how the guy works.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to call him Aroma Doomsday. That's just going to happen. I'm going to call him. I don't care who plays for him.
Doomsday.
Aroma Doomsday is what I'm going to call him.
That's not that bad. I like that.
Yeah.
The first part, you're like, that's not great to be called Aroma. But then when you call somebody Doomsday, you're like, oh, hell yeah.
That makes it cool by default.
Hell yeah. Randy's Chuckle says, why is Keon scratching his junk? Did Ralph give him crabs, or did Ralph Scott Krabs give him crabs? No. He's just, he was typing on his phone, but he's put the phone out of reach.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get you to AA for social media.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just this one Twitter beef. I
went back and looked at it during the break, like a grown up. And let me just tell you though, it is entertaining.
Yeah, it was just like I had my popcorn out, forgot to put it away back when we got back, which is my bad, but
Baker's Cocky Hen says Thong Boy Phil used to sit in that same chair, right?
Oh, yeah.
Probably wore some assless chaps.
Thought it was Speedo.
Man, this chair has been Lysol sprayed, so that's
Ronnie's been around there with assless chaps too.
I didn't think it was Thong Boy. I thought it was.
And then there was that Speedo. Teenage boy who used to sit there.
Oh.
And then we remember whenever Moist wouldn't be watching.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
why would you not Lysol that room, Keon?
Mm.
Of course he would.
I mean, plus I don't know all the people that used to work here.
And every time I've sat in there and done something, I've tried to clean with some Lysol wipes too. Nothing against Keon. It's just for some reason nobody ever cleans that room. Nobody ever cleans the room. There's
That's
more
true.
than just Keon in there.
Yeah. I tried this this past weekend. I did not get far. It's you start and you realize it's more than you bargained for. So I didn't finish.
I got to tell you, that keyboard in there needs to be that thing needs to be dumped, and we need to get a new one.
They need to launch that into space, so whatever is
my
in
God.
there's DNA does not mix with the rest of anything on this planet.
Oh my God, that's that keyboard in there is
it's
something bad.
It's something.
See, I just remember, Randy, when you and I started in radio, that we would always clean up after ourselves, and we would clean the board. If it got kind of dirty or gnarly, we're like, oh, I can't touch this every day. Yeah, not that we were OCD or weird, just we took pride in our workplaces, and we were happy and proud. Wow, look at us, we're on radio, and we took care of it.
Just
that is true.
Just
that
seems
is true.
very much directed at me.
Oh no, not you specifically.
Just me in part, just partially me.
You adjacent. I mean, you do sit in that room.
I
but
do sit in the room.
I don't blame you for not wanting to clean up the messes of a lot of people from before you. But I'm just saying, here I come, sit down. Oh, what do? I start cleaning up the messes from everybody before me.
No, there's a point there. There's a good point there being made.
We need to get that keyboard that's in there on that computer replaced.
No, this just needs
I'm
to be.
afraid of it. I'm scared of it. I'm not
Nuked
touching
from-
it. You touch
That
it.
is
Nuked from orbit.
That is a scientific experiment right
We're
there.
gonna need those like tongs that Homer uses on The Simpsons to grab the uranium rods, and even that, I'm scared. I'm scared of many things in that room now. Not you. I'm not scared of you.
Well,
Peter.
yeah, just the
There was a guy named
the
Josh
very
who used to be in
living-
there. I was just as scared of him as I was the stuff in that. He would blend in because he was exactly like it. He was so dirty. Just he's like Pigpen. I
just has an aura around him. There's probably
His
what's
old
left
cloud.
what's left on the keyboard there. Yeah.
Gosh, wow.
Woof. Ringless Joe says, I hate to say it, but it might be another 4-win season for the Cardinals coming up. I don't know about that.
That's not what any of the Vegas is actually pretty high on the Cardinals.
5 or 6, maybe.
Yeah, I think Vegas is thinking 6. Like they're thinking they're going to be better. I mean, the Cardinals played really well. They just need to get some talent in key positions, because as far as the guys playing hard and as far as the scheme showing that it can work, those two things appear to be true.
Here's what I'm going to say. Get yourself all the stuff you need. Understand you're still going to fail. And then get yourself a new quarterback next year. Because then you'll already have all these other great pieces and players.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sure.
That's all I can say. I still am going to say your worst problem is going to be the quarterback. There's going to be some great throws. There's going to be some touchdowns. There's going to be some great runs. But in the end, he will come up short.
I don't know if I should, with that smile at the end there, I probably should blow a whistle on that one.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean it in the proper sense. So
I do understand that. And yeah, I can't disagree with you.
This is the year he's going to cost the most money.
Waldo says, wait, what? Jeffrey needs a uranium rod now? Before he needed an adult-sized package, a man-sized package? Yeah, I guess maybe I'm saying some things today. Kyle G.
It is Wednesday, so
it is Wednesday.
Kyle G
Which is
says
the new
the
Friday.
Vikings are poised to trade with the Cardinals. 2 more first-round picks and maybe a player or a second as well would be a great trade for talent-deficient team in Arizona.
I mean, the Cardinals could sit there and take Marvin Harrison, and my instinct says do that. But knowing that the Vikings are there at 11 with no quarterback, and the Broncos are there at 12 with no quarterback,
Well, that's why
means that if
I
you
Let the
think
bidding begin.
if you
yeah,
pick
they're
up
gonna
the phone,
vacate that fourth spot.
yep,
Easy.
you
Yeah,
you
they're
pick
gonna-
up the phone and get
but
those
see-
two teams to bid against each other.
Yeah,
what
but
you
Monty's going to get quite an amazing return on his
he is
investment.
whether it's Denver or Minnesota, they're getting raked over the coals for the opportunity to get JJ McCarthy, which I don't see it personally. But
Monty Awesome Fart is going to do so much on this. All of a sudden, somebody from the Ravens is going to be like, I don't understand. Why did we give a pick? Well, how did this happen? I just did it instinctually.
Just know
Why?
that-
How did we didn't get anything for this? That's how much Monty Awesome Fart wheels and deals.
What
Just
just
1 minute
happened?
we had the pick, and next minute Monty had it. No, don't answer the phone. Nobody answers the phone to a 602 area code. That's how good he is.
guy's a smooth operator. It
I
just,
think so.
he knows
Yeah.
he knows how the draft board works more than a lot of GMs do.
Big George says, I bet that control room was pretty dirty back when Charlie Wolf was in there cheering on his Cleveland Cavaliers. Actually, no, when Charlie was around, the thing was brand new. We had just put it together, so it was crystal clear and clean then. So you can't blame him for nothing. 888-368-1580. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see what the Cardinals do. And I feel like you can't really get it wrong. I mean, I say more picks is more right, but taking Marvin Harrison Jr. also extremely right.
I don't think it's a lose situation
Yeah.
here. Either way you go, I think you'll be successful. But
But yeah, it just depends on what your philosophy is. If you're going for more of the high end talent, then you can't go wrong with Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, if you're saying you're trying to get more picks, maybe not at the highest end, but guys who can really, really play, I don't think that's a wrong decision
But I
either
mean,
for a team that needs to fill a lot of spots.
you need to get picks to use them to get more picks so that you can pick some personnel. I mean, you can't just sit
Eventually
there
got to
and-
use them.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
he is going to. I think if you can move back and get another first rounder and keep that flowing for you, especially when you can get another first rounder from a team like the Bears did that you suspect will be very bad. That's the good one. That's the one where you don't have to be bad to give yourself a chance at being a top 5 pick in the draft.
God bless the Bears, giving other teams opportunities since 1930 something.
Well, no, in this case, the Bears won this. This was the Panthers.
No, I know, but you
But-
know the moves they've made for some other players have
Yeah.
just opened some doors, haven't they?
A few.
Ringless Joe
A few.
says, for the Lions to win it all, Campbell's just got to roll boxcars all season.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I'll leave you to something that occurred to me, so I typed it out. It just came to my head, and I typed it out. And what I typed was, I feel like it'd be the perfect fit if the Bills hired Bill Belichick. Then they truly be the Bills. Because Bill Belichick, get it? So Bill, and then he hires a bunch of other coaches named Bill. It's the Bills.
No.
I'm just saying it would. It'd be cool if it happened, but I know it's
Well,
not.
Would
But
it
they'd
though?
really be the Bills.
Would it be cool though? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you get Belichick there, and
You get
Buffalo.
Belichick in there coaching the Buffalo instead of the Make-A-Wish looking guy
what's
that's there right
what's
now.
McDermott? You going to get rid of him then?
Yeah. His name's not Bill.
Oh, Sean. Sorry.
Guy gets into the playoffs
different
every year.
direction. We're only hiring people named Bill from here on out.
Exactly.
You have a riot.
I'm glad you understand how this is supposed to work.
Orchard Park would riot. All the people there would just
No,
rise up
no.
and riot.
They wouldn't riot. They'd be like, hi, how could you do? But it is Bill Belichick. So let's play this out.
I don't think that's what they would say. They've hated that man forever. The moment he loses
Yeah, I
2
don't-
or 3 games
You hate
in a
him.
row,
You hate him unless he's yours.
unless he's winning and he's yours, and he
He'd
hasn't done
win
so
with the
much of the
Bills.
winning
Yeah.
lately.
He could win with the Bills.
I don't know about that.
If he doesn't select the team, yeah. sure.
If you let
I
somebody
just-
else draft it,
I just want him to be the Bills. I just,
You know, Belichick and his corgi are not a successful duo.
he's not
at-
a corgi.
at-
He's
at
got a
picking-
husky.
No, he's got some sort of it's like a mini collie or a corgi or
I
something.
thought that was a husky.
No, he ain't got no damn husky. Are you
I'm
kidding me?
looking up this up. Because I remember at the draft, some dog sat up and pretended to draft. I thought that was a husky.
No. That's a corgi.
That's embarrassing. It's a man card violation, I think.
Well, it's Bill Belichick. He does pretty much what he wants, I think.
True.
It's not a corgi, but it's not a husky either.
What is it? A
I'll
mini
figure
collie?
it out.
I don't know my dogs
Miniature
by
collie?
looking at them.
I don't
So
think it's miniature. I'll look it up.
Lassie, pick the next tight end for this team. Lassie.
he's not a very big dog.
Name the dog Bill, and he can be there. It's the Bills.
Wow.
I have these great ideas, but nobody
You
ever
do.
does them.
You are a
Anyway.
visionary.
All right, let's take a break. More NFL when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Masters getting underway Thursday at Augusta National. The latest odds on who will claim the green jacket, Scotty Scheffler, who won the tournament back in 2022, is plus 450 to win at Augusta, while Rory McIlroy, who needs a green jacket to complete the career Grand Slam, is the second betting favorite at plus 1100. John Rahm slightly behind him. He's the defending Masters champion at plus 1200. Xander Schauffele, looking for his first major, is at plus 1400. Hideki Matsuyama, the 2021 champion, is at plus 2,000. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com
Oh, I'm ready!
and get ready for the workday.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Anybody watching the Upples?
Excuse me?
The UFL games? Anybody watching it?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't even accidentally stumbled across it. Oh, by the way, Bill Belichick's dog is a Klee, an Alaskan Klee Kai. And it's an expensive dog. It's more like I'm not gonna say mini husky, but it's like an anorexic husky. It's like a husky that got some of that Ozempic. I don't know. It's kind of it's a.
Well, they're
The
also
dog is on
short, so
Ozempic.
it's not just that the dog's skinny; it's also that the dog is
Yeah.
tinier.
It's a small thing.
They're like 17 inches tall at their biggest.
It's just
Yeah.
I think that Bill Belichick is just
22 pounds.
He's just tired. So he's just just give me this small. At a distance, you're like, look at the size. That thing could pull a sled. Then you get up close to it, and you're like, oh, I could lift this with one hand.
Well, that's
and
the
I
thing
think
is
that's it.
When
Right
you
there.
saw it on draft night, it's just like, no, the computer's still much bigger than that dog.
I thought it was a damn corgi. Who cares anyway? Belichick has not been successful putting together a team since Tom Brady left.
Well, we're not talking about
Since
that.
before
We're
then,
talking
but-
about Klekai, and they're cool looking little dogs. You know, if you're going to have a husky in Arizona, have a Klekai. I've always said that having a husky in Arizona is just kind of irresponsible. It's too hot. You can't take them out for walks, and anytime they go out during the day, even if you have a backyard, they're just come back in sweating balls. I mean, it's just it's too hot for huskies. You know,
Yeah.
huskies should live in cooler climates. That's what I think. But you know, none of my business. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says corgis have a hilariously cute butt though, and then he sends me a picture of a corgi butt. He says, "Look at that corgi butt." I don't want to look at a corgi butt. Well, that's kind of weird that you're looking at corgi butts.
Yeah, well,
And that
You-
you have
you need
opinions
to-
on corgi butts.
You need to
That's
clear your search history, Hefty Lefty.
hastily.
my daughter loves her corgi. She's got a corgi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Hattie's got a
queen,
corgi.
the
Yeah.
queen used to have corgis. She's
Really?
dead. Yeah, she's dead now. Though.
She's now
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
Did she take the corgis with her?
She had them buried with her. And they were
Ah.
still alive.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, you go by gravesite
Oh no!
for a while. Just
Oh my god!
What is that scratching?
good. Put it in the ground. So the UFL, they've been playing for 2 weeks now, and I guess their ratings ain't great.
Oh, no kidding.
But they're hanging in at the same level of not great.
Maybe if you put corgis on the TV, then they would get some rating.
Under a million. Yeah, every time 840,000, 900,000. And as it happens with spring football, these numbers are going to go down. So
they need some sort of drama. They need some sort of a.
Well, the
like
thing
a-
is, you can't have drama. Nobody knows who these people are.
when
That's
the biggest
key to-
story
to
is a
drama.
guy kicking field goals, yeah.
You need to have some sort of drama, I think. The UFL's got it all wrong. They need to play more like the arena guys. You know what I mean? There needs to be like some boards, and they need to change it up and quit trying to tackle like the NFL. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
They
what the
need some
XFL
sort of, like-
did. Remember the
Well,
original, and they did
hell
the
with the XFL.
cheerleaders and bondage outfits and stuff. And
No, I don't remember that.
remember that when
Say
it first came out, they were trying to be like, "We're the cool football." And
They need to
then-
have some sort of gimmick if they're going to do spring football. Change it up, man. You know what I mean?
I guess you got to Savannah banana that crap. That's what you
It's
got to
just
do.
they are on at the time of the
Oh.
year where there isn't
No.
there isn't mainstream football on, and you just
what I
don't you
mean.
can't help but get the feeling
Bring
every
out
time
some,
you
like,
watch it that you're watching discount football.
Jousting poles and horses and stuff. That's now.
Mhm.
Now, see now.
It's just a
Set the
different
ball
game
on
entirely.
fire.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
Literal fire.
There it is, right there. A ball that all of a sudden spontaneously combusts.
Or the same ball has an explosive device. You never know when it's going to go off.
Never know.
Never
Yeah,
know.
there it is. There it is. See now,
That's
I would tune into that.
that doesn't fix
I
anything
would
for me.
tune
My
into
problem
that.
with the
You get these
UFL
horses out there. You get
Horses.
some guys. Oh yeah, you get these. You get them all meddled up with the, like the old timey days that they had the
Like
the
knights.
horse had helmets and stuff, and you ride those. Now we've got something. You
can-
see what I'm
that's
saying?
just a different
That
thing
damn
entirely.
jousting going on. Maybe a guy
Well,
with a two-edged one of those.
That's not- it's just not
axes.
football
The good
anymore.
news is, comparatively, the CTE would be less of an issue.
Well, Not worried about.
Yeah,
food.
comparatively.
Yeah, because being
Dude
say
just
we
got
go-
trampled by a horse.
We gotta
Yeah,
go back.
Did he have CTE? Nope.
well, yeah, you got to be
but
alive
I
to have
gotta-
CTE.
He had a
and-
horse through his spleen. That's
I
what he
got a hoof right through my sinus cavity.
Yeah.
The bottom line is we need to go back. You know what they need to do? If I'm The Rock, this is what I'm doing. I'm bringing up that James.
Oh, I thought you were
Caan-
going to say roids. But
No. Hasn't he done that already? You bring up that
Yes.
James Caan movie, Rollerball. You see what I'm saying?
Oh my god!
Now we've got something here.
Yeah, I'm not actually trying
Now
to see
we've
people
got
die.
something.
That's-
Rollerball.
Okay. Mm.
And then you finish him with the spikes on your
Roll.
on your arm there. You're like, bam, finish him. You see what I'm
Maybe we
saying?
do Running Man. Like, remember that with Richard Dawson and
Oh,
Arnold
see?
Schwarzenegger back in the
Here we
day?
go.
The
Here we
Running
go.
Man.
Here we
And
go.
Jesse the Body Ventura. And, yeah.
There, now you got to get a gimmick. You got to get some sort of a thing happening here.
I
Look,
just
these
want
guys,
good football. And
guys are not going to play
can
football at
add
the
it.
NFL level. I mean,
It's-
come on.
Well, no, one of them will. In fact, some teams are in trouble for tampering. The Michigan, what's the name of the Michigan team?
I don't know.
Michigan can't drink the waters. Their kicker, Jake Bates, he kicked a 62-yard field goal this week, and the week before a 64. So now the NFL teams were like, "Hey, this guy's a good kicker," but they're not allowed to talk to the teams or the agents. But the agents like, "Yeah, I keep getting calls from teams, and I have to remind them you're not allowed to do this." But
Kickers.
the teams aren't taking it seriously because it's the UFL.
You get a guy with the roller ball, you put him on one of those motorcycles like James Caan had in the original rollerball, and then for your extra point, you jump the ball and the motorcycle through the uprights. Now we're talking. You see
I
what I'm
like
saying?
your
Now-
thinking.
Now I'm tuning into that.
I
You
like
see
your
what I'm
thinking.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Choro says they need to do relegation to the NFL. You know, get the Vikings down in the UFL. At least they might have a chance at winning something. See, yeah, I mean that idea has been popped before,
yeah, and
but
it's a bad idea.
not enough talent to really
Like I don't care how bad you think the worst NFL team is. They're not losing to a UFL squad. It is not happening. There is a reason why these guys in the UFL, you have no idea who
Two
these
teams
people are.
would keep
They-
flipping.
Yeah, you just
They
you just
would
send up
lose
the
it.
best team that they have, and that team, by the way, wouldn't win a game in the NFL. so
Yeah,
like,
see,
what
but
you can't
to
just
get
have
my
pro-
idea, they would
promotion and
lose pretty
relegation.
easy. Justin Jefferson wouldn't have a chance with some guy with like spikes and spinadies on his gloves and stuff.
That's the other
Jefferson,
issue,
he'd be
though.
running for his life.
I
man. You
I
see what I'm
like
saying? Mm-hmm.
watching Justin Jefferson play football, and if he gets relegated and he dies down there with the new rules that Randy's implemented,
everybody just quit.
that's going to make football worse. We just removed a good football player from the world.
Keon doesn't have the kind of vision we have, Randy.
No, I have a very clear vision, and I am correct.
Very narrow.
Lost
very narrow.
Taco says, all things considered, the NFL keeps taking the best parts of spring football leagues. Didn't they just copy and paste the XFL's kickoff rule?
They
Yes,
copied
they
and
did.
pasted the XFL's kickoff rule back in the day. The cameras up on cables. That was the
Mm-hmm.
XFL's idea originally, and the NFL said that's a cool idea.
That's another
Yoink.
idea right there.
And I
Nothing
think
wrong.
that the
Players
UFL /
on
XFL
cables swinging through the field of play.
that
right?
is
With
not
jousting
really
Like to
balls.
slice people in half.
Oh my
Talking about,
God! This
so.
is now we're. Where's Rock? Get him on the phone. I need to talk to him
It's
immediately.
The Rock. It's not just
Yeah.
Rock.
If you call him and say Rock, he'll just hang up on
If
you.
you yell Rock, people think you're talking to Chris Rock. If you say The Rock,
That's a good
nah,
point.
or just
Yeah,
go
there you go.
Dwayne. Half You Lefties says, corgis are super useful. If you put a Swiffer sheet on their stomach, may as well put that belly dragon to use. You know what I'm saying? That's all fair, but then I'd
Just like
be
a-
stuck
like a-
with a corgi, and I don't
like
want
a
Sort
living
of
Roomba.
like a Pomeranian, though. But you just put a broom in the Pomeranian's backside there, and you just move him around like a mop. You see what I'm saying?
Ringless Joe says, cool football is just regular old football. Yeah, but this group of people ain't going to move the needle. You'll see. Ham Sandwich says, I think the NFL needs to let the UFL champion take the place of the worst finishing. Yeah, we just had the relegation conversation, Ham Sandwich. He says,
And-
I don't care. I love my Battlehawks. Caca.
And if the Battlehawks won the UFL championship and got into the NFL, they'd be 0-17.
Mhm.
So what?
See,
what
but Battlehawks.
what-
Now think about that for a second.
was the
That's
worst
a
NFL
great
team last year
rollerball team.
0-17?
The Battlehawks.
Like even the
You see what I'm saying?
Panthers managed to win a couple of games. That would not happen.
I think the Battlehawks would be more effective on defense because then if you go to catch a ball and the Battlehawk comes in and just takes it from you,
Takes
easy
it
to get
from
in
you.
again.
Oh, I
Interceptions
like that.
or claws your eyes out so you can't catch the ball.
And there we go. Instantly, Jeffrey and I have just made spring football
we
10 times better.
By making
could.
it not football, but that's
No, we
That's a
could, but
move.
they'll never, ever, ever let us do what we need to do to make it work.
well,
Can
yeah,
you
because you're
imagine
making
a
it not football.
Hawk swings in and claws out the guy's eyes.
We are minds ahead of our time.
Okay,
Of course we are.
that's still your decision to fix this is to make it not football, which is fine. But then I can't. I definitely won't be watching because it's not football.
You know what? Maybe
Instead
it's just
of
not
grass.
for you, Keon. Maybe you just go watch some soccer.
Potentially
Go watch
possible.
some soccer.
No, I'll just wait
Yeah.
for actual football season to come back.
Yeah.
Instead of grass, you make it like a hardwood floor and put these guys on roller skates. Now,
no.
we've got some-
Even
What?
better.
Okay.
Hardwood floor, but everybody has to wear socks.
I like that. See, I like
He will
that.
be
right
slipping
there.
and sliding all over the place.
That's even better.
So for equipment, the NFL, they're not going to have spiked helmets, but they are going to have 5 helmet models now. That's more than they used to have. And then they're also saying that they're going to be some testing and they're going to try to implement more position-specific helmets. I think that's a good idea. I think it's an idea that, it should have been done years ago. If you're a lineman, you have a different need in your helmet for the way you might hit somebody than, say, a wide receiver. Or a quarterback or, whatever. So, there's going to be 5 new helmet models and they say they're safer than any helmets that have ever been used before. So that's great. It's
Now-
about damn time.
Now, you see that helmet George Kittle? He wears that helmet.
The
all
Power
time.
Rangers helmet.
Looks like a hawk. It looks like some sort of like a bird of prey. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think they all the players should wear those helmets.
Well, that's not a good helmet for a lineman, though. It's not a
Well,
good
why
helmet
not?
for the kicker.
I mean, what the hell with the kicker?
Well, yeah, 'cause, I
Kickers
mean,
shouldn't even have.
I know
like, a
they
helmet.
don't need, they're not real football
I don't
players.
even know why they
I
have
know.
helmets on.
I know.
I mean, they do get hit occasionally, so
Eh.
might want a helmet for that.
Would make
That's
the
all right.
game, I think, more interesting if you just really you brain this guy who's a kicker. He shouldn't be in there trying to tackle anyway.
Choros says, shakes head at fancy uniform talk. He says, let's talk about full-time refs. You know what? They should already be full-time refs. The amount of money referees are being paid is full-time money for anyone else on the planet. So how about we just say, you do this job, no other job, and go, guess what? No raise. Shut your greedy face, you damn referee. And by the way, do your job better.
You make
Hamilton Porter
$201,000 per year.
Hamilton Porter says, if you listen to the stories a previous morning show co-hosts used to tell, then my God, please get safer helmets, please.
And then I just, I looked under the mattress. What was I saying?
Yeah, we lost track a while ago, pal. No idea. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk as much football as we can, plus on this date in big Georgia sports history. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month. a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Do you need equipment for your business but don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used equipment. Excavators, forklifts, dozers, tractors, cranes, plows, and more. If it's essential to your business, I will help you get the money you need. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So this schedule is going to be weird. This schedule is going to be weird this season for the NFL. And I when are they releasing the full schedule? Because I was really surprised to see that they are already talking about the first game of the season that's going to be in Brazil. And I already forgot who's playing. Who's playing in that? Was it the Packers?
Green Bay, I thought.
They're releasing the schedule May 9th. So,
yeah, I had it in this pile here, but it just
I don't
today,
know exactly when.
No, today they said
releasing the schedule May 9th, guys.
Yeah, but today they did say that the first game there's going to be like week one, not preseason. A week one game is going to be in Brazil.
It'll be the Eagles versus the Packers.
There you go. Yeah, all right. So Eagles fans, they can handle Brazil. Packer fans can't. I don't think. Well, because it's Eagle fans. If you're from Philadelphia, you got some street smarts. You know what I'm saying? But if you're from Green Bay, you're just looking. You're just looking for some restaurants. You know, you can get killed in Brazil. Brazil is a dangerous place. If you're from Philadelphia, you know how to handle yourself. If you're from Wisconsin. You as soon as the car salesman leaves the room, you cry a little. I'm just saying the people, it's not the same kind of people. The people from Philadelphia, they can navigate all the craziness of Brazil. Nobody from the Midwest needs to go to Brazil.
Do you think that people from Green Bay will be making
murdered
their way to
left and right?
You think they'll be making their way to Brazil? Do you?
They're kidnapped everywhere they go. There'll be lines of Brazilians ready to kidnap anybody with a Green Bay logo.
I think this is a bad idea for the NFL to go to Brazil.
Philadelphia, they can handle themselves. Of course, they'll see a guy from Wisconsin getting kidnapped and said, "Tough break," and that's it. They'll just keep going. They're not going to help. So
someone from Philadelphia might incur the wrath of somebody with a gun. That's possible.
Well, they don't care about that.
Yeah, because they're from Philadelphia.
They'll throw batteries at them. So I'm just saying, nobody from the Midwest should go to Brazil.
I don't know, man.
Well, I'm not going to Brazil.
I won't either. So.
That's a scary, scary place, man. But they've decided they're going to do it. Yeah, Baker's cocky hands agrees. He says, "Yeah, Philly people have big mouths."
Like a person from Philadelphia might get themselves killed, but
You're gonna
not
drive up to the
not
stadium
because they
and
didn't
see
see
some
it
heads
coming.
on stakes. That's
Yeah.
what you'll see.
It's not because they didn't see it coming. It's because they directly said the things that caused it. But that's neither here nor there.
Baker's Talking Hens thinks that heads on stakes. So I guess you kill them and make Philly cheese head steaks. So kill them
Okay.
both. You get cheese
All right.
head and you get this Philly steaks.
Ooh.
That was probably funnier than I delivered it. Sorry.
I don't know if that's your fault. That's just a dark place for that joke to go.
I liked it. I thought it was funny. I'll read it again just to make sure I get it right. What he said about the cheese and the steaks. He says Philly people have big mouths and will have their heads on steaks. Guess they could kill them both and make Philly cheese head steaks.
I get it. I just don't think that one's for me.
Maybe you should gather those and then read them all at once in a segment called Dark Thoughts with Jeffrey.
Cheesehead Bill says, to be fair,
To be fair,
I'm from Wisconsin. I would be fine in Brazil, but for the majority of people, I'm not saying you're wrong. Oh, he's the one guy from Wisconsin who could survive.
Someone has to be. Maybe their family's from Philadelphia a generation ago. Still,
I don't know why.
Still got the awareness.
I don't know why Wisconsinites, is that what they call them? Wisconsinites? I don't know why they would be in danger, any more danger than anybody else.
They're not tough. They're not tough.
They're hardy people.
No, well, they've got layers to protect them from the
They're
cold.
hardy people.
Cheese curd layers.
They
to
will
protect
give you
them.
a cheese curd
Yeah.
while they're beating your ass.
They're not beating anyone's ass.
Come on now. Come on.
You've never
Literally.
lost a fight to somebody from Wisconsin.
Beer makers, packers.
Look at what they
meat
eat.
Packers.
Seriously.
That's my point.
Flubba
They're so
bubbas.
constipated.
They're a bunch of flubba bubbas.
They're so constipated. They have so much anger to put out there. I don't think anybody wants to touch them.
Yeah, I'm not scared of people from Wisconsin.
All right. Well,
or Minnesota, to be honest.
I'm not either. I mean, they're nice people, but
Chicago, well, they'll murder you. But Wisconsin and Minnesota, Iowa.
Don't you know?
Charo wants a weather update. Yeah, we haven't had one of those in a while.
A weather update?
He says, shall I do my lawn tonight or can I wait till tomorrow? He wants to know if he can procrastinate and the weather agrees with him.
Well, from the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White coming at you live and direct. Currently under beautiful skies, it is 86 degrees. Tomorrow, 94. Friday, 94, 90 on Saturday. It's going to get down to a cooling trend on Sunday, 79. But no rain in the forecast. I think, Choro, you can pretty much take care of your grass anytime you want to. Currently, the UV index is 0, which is low. Sunset tonight at 6:56. And again, under mostly sunny skies, 86 degrees. From the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Back to you, Jeffco.
I was busy. I wasn't really paying attention. Did you say it's going to get hot or not?
Oh, yeah. Mid-90s.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Tomorrow? So when's it going to be 100?
Well, that's hard to say because we still have some relative humidity in the air. But once it starts to dry out a little more, we could touch the century mark. So we'll have to wait and see. Currently, the relative humidity is about 15%. So starts dropping a little lower than that. You could touch 100 this weekend, easy.
King of Kitten says, the level of security at the major level stadiums across the globe is pretty high. There's nothing to worry about, at least at the game. Oh, I'm not worried about anybody at the stadium. Yeah. I'm talking about once you set foot in Brazil, there is so much corruption and violence.
Yeah, I thought that was more
problems.
Colombia, not Brazil. I thought that was Colombia.
Oh no, read up on
Brazil
Brazil
too. Brazil
Really?
too. Yeah, especially because man, Brazilian gangs they don't play.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around there.
Like people will tell you about Chicago. There's no comparison.
Have you been to Brazil?
To what? I am not. I've never been to Brazil. However, I am from a neighbor country.
Huh?
The drugs pass through.
What do you think? I'm just making this up, Brandon?
No. I just asked. Just asked. No.
I mean, my dad was born in the Amazon jungle, man.
That's an awesome thing to be able to
I
say.
am familiar enough.
Now,
Back when there was an Amazon jungle.
now there it is, right there. See,
So I remember we were talking about how the Coyotes they're probably leaving, and we're talking about how the Chiefs they're threatening to leave for their reasons. Well, Green Bay, they just got told no on something. I think they should have been told yes on. Green Bay, I guess the team went to I guess the local stadium district, because remember again, you know how things are. They don't own the stadium, and so they say, hey guys, we should have a third locker room. And they're like, no. He says, no, listen, we need a third locker room, and we'll put up 2 million if you guys can put up 3 million. But the third locker room will help attract college football games and professional soccer matches, and we could get more events and stuff at the stadium here at Lambeau Field if we had a third locker room. And we got to build cabinets and seats and stuff, showers. So the cost of it, total cost of $5 million. We got 2 million. If you guys could do 3 million, it's improving this field that you guys own and we all will benefit from. And they said no.
interesting.
It's just a couple million. Well, why not? This one you do, right? This week, because you don't give up the Packers locker room to visiting teams and stuff. You keep the Packers locker room. But with that third locker room, you could have stuff. I'm telling you, this is a dumb decision by the people in Green Bay to not take care of.
Yeah, that seems weird because
Packers are like, we're leaving. No, you're not.
It's yeah. Plus, they have a CEO, but like they are largely owned by fans. And so
Can't the Packers come up with the full 5 million?
I'm pretty sure they can.
I think they should just
I'm pretty sure they can. And I don't know anything that would make your organization money. Why would you say no to it? There's no downside. It's not to displace the Packers in any way. What could be the problem?
You ready for inspirational on this day in Big George sports history?
You better believe I am.
Let's get some inspiration.
All right.
On this day in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1959, on opening day, Nellie Fox, who went 5 for 7, hit an unlikely 2-run home run off of Don Mossy in the top of the 14th inning to beat the Detroit Tigers at Briggs Stadium 9-7. Chicago White Sox second baseman called Mighty Might by his teammates had not homered in 623 at-bats the previous season. Back to me, Jeffrey. Just, don't give up. That was the inspiration right there. That was the inspiration there.
So why would you name your kid Nelly?
Well, it was 1959. Whoa, Nelly. CK says, Brazil, you will be kidnapped, operated on alive. They'll take your organs. See what I'm saying? Choro says, damn, construction costs are cheap in Wisconsin. How much should a locker room cost? If 5 million's cheap, what's a appropriate amount, Choro? Baker's Cocky Hen says, a lot of us came out of an Amazon's jungle, if you know what I mean, Keon. Just trying to tell us your mom was tall? I mean, what are you
talking about?
That's uncomfortable.
My family's from South America. That's what I was trying to say. What are you saying?
You didn't say an Amazon's jungle, the Amazon jungle.
Yeah, I was pretty clear about that.
Your dad was an Amazon delivery.
Didn't exist yet, but
you'd give me a 5-minute penalty if it weren't towards the end of the show, because I just go home now.
You are at home right now.
Well,
yeah,
no,
that's what the thing is.
Walk over there.
You made that mistake with Randy. So I can't make the mistake with you.
I deserve a whistle. Damn it.
Randy won't give you the whistle because that's what you want.
No, that's a shame.
Get to go to the kitchen 2 minutes early.
That's a shame. Okay. Well, I just want to make you all, I know you're all driving home, trying to get home from work, and you're just trying to make ends meet, like all of us. And then you hear this. Carson Wentz is getting $3.25 million this year.
What for?
to play for the Chiefs, which means he's going to be holding the clipboard.
Well, look, if 15 goes down in Kansas City, season's over anyway. It might as well be Carson Wentz or anybody. What difference could it make?
The fact that he's getting $3.25 million and his name is Carson Wentz.
He is a human being who is very large and physically capable of throwing a football. They don't want to ever see him play.
Pineapple Express. Yeah, I pretty much established that joke, but I can't use it in the terms that you're using it. Unless you mean a big George Bush. Then I could say that. Or Jeb. Then I could say, well, that's a big Bush. But I can't say it the way you wanted me to. Yeah. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Daily Blender, 1580 The Fanatic.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself.